We didn't actually do the round of 12 this season. We went live to do it. We did a couple series. I just was not feeling great that day. Yeah, we're going to go live and at least try and do one of the groups today, Group A. Like I said, we went live a little late, so getting 2 groups in might be a little bit of a push, but I reckon we can at least do Group A and just enjoy some games. And then over the weekend, we've got WardiTV June taking place and WardiTV European League qualifiers, so that should be a whole lot of fun as well. So yeah. Cool. So let's just dive in basically. I'm just checking if there's anything else we need to look into. Sure, just double checking a couple things, guys, and we'll get going. Sorry for the delay. Alright, let's just jump in and cast some games. So we're going to start off with match 1, which is going to be between GuMiho and Rogue. And then we'll do the other matchup at the start of this group is Solo versus Maru. And then we'll do winner's match, loser's match, decider match. Maybe if... maybe we do the T... So if there's a TVT, I'm just thinking, because usually if we do, if there's a mirror matchup, we usually do that first. I'm thinking what the likelihood of that is. GuMiho Maru winners match seems fairly likely. If there's, yeah, I mean, we'll just do the TVT first as a guarantee, I think. Yeah, I like the TVT plan. That seems good to me. Seems good to me. So yeah, let's do that. Let's go and we'll do the TVT. If there is a TVT, we'll do the TVT first. We'll just say that so people know roughly what we're planning to do. And it doesn't come as a surprise to anybody. But yeah, for now we're going to start off with... Ooh, hold my neck. With Rogue versus GuMiho. My neck's a little bit sore over here today, guys. So if I'm not looking over this way at you guys a lot, it's just because my neck actually kind of hurts to twist that way a little bit. So I'll try and move. I'll just rotate the chair. Whenever I'm ready to twitch, I'll just be like... No head motion, and I'm back to the game. Alright, let's cast some StarCraft 2. I'm feeling it. We were not here yesterday. No Protoss in this group? No, I guess not. Double TVZ. I guess all the Protosses are in Group B. Who's left alive in GSL? Hero? Classic? Maybe? I'm actually not sure. Alright, I need a moment to turn the health bars on. We'll do that first. Health bars are already on! Oh, look at me being prepared and all sorts. Wait, why can't I see the hatchery selected? Oh, it's just under the creep. That's weird. Alright, let's do this. In the top left-hand side, we're going to start things off with the blue. Zergarino. This is going to be Rogue. Taking on the red Terran. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have got ourselves the wonderful GuMiho. So good to see him still in GSL, because I mean we just don't see enough of him, honestly. Yeah, we really just don't see enough of him in other events at the moment, so excited to see him here today. Excited to see what he has planned for us as we get off into this best of 3. So kicking off into the action, getting this ready to rumble, and seeing GuMiho and Rogue getting to battle. I think this is the Observer Perfect. The best part about casting GSL replays is that they observe the games at the time, right? So I don't even have to observe. I can just lay low and not ruin the experience for everybody by having terrible observing. It's always a major plus. Always a major plus. What's up, GrimK? How's it going? How you doing? And if you're on YouTube, hello as well. Good to see you guys on the YouTube stream. Thanks for dropping by. I know the GSL replay cast isn't super popular on YouTube, but appreciate you all if you are hanging out with us today and spending some time enjoying some games. I'm looking forward to it. It's been really nice for me to be able to kind of keep up with GSL by just casting the replays. And honestly, we've had pretty decent interest in the GSL replays when we've done them as well, so It's been a nice little something for me to do. Fill in some days on the schedule. It ain't easy keeping these days filled in, especially not right now when there's a lot of bigger events going on as well. You can't just run your own tournament every single day of the week. Gosh darn it, I will try, but yeah. I'm still trying to find one final player for tomorrow's group. We actually have a really fun lineup for tomorrow's group, but I don't want to share the players until I confirm the final player, because I would love to just get them lined up first, so no one can be like, actually, no, I look at this group, I don't want to play in it or something, you know. So yeah, just a little bit of work on that, guys, and hopefully we'll have some progress, some updates for you guys later today. I've sent a couple messages out, so fingers crossed as some of the Europeans start playing the evening, maybe we can get a response or two about some of that. That would be great. But yeah, let's talk about this TVZ opening match of the quarterfinals. A very interesting match, this one as well, because out of the two players in this group, there are two players in this group who aren't yet qualified for EWC, and that is Rogue and it is GuMiho. So it's actually super important for these guys to do well today, because they're actually both competing directly against one another for a chance to play in the, to qualify through into the EWC. So, yeah, if one of them advances from this group and the other does not, they have a very good chance of making it into EWC from there, because a lot of the other players are already qualified. I mean, we've got Classic, Hero, Solar, Maru, Zound, so I think there's only one other player in Group B, like maybe Bunny, who isn't qualified, so there really is a major rush for EWC qualifiers this coming, EWC qualification in this event, so definitely keep that on your mind. Makes this starting match very important. Give yourself a shot at the winner's match. Avoid a elimination matchup in scary scenarios. Definitely could be a big deal, so yeah. It's definitely one of the storylines for this group. It's not just about GSL semifinals, it's about getting to EWC, if at all possible. Again, we don't know. No one will directly qualify today, because it still depends on at least Bunny's result tomorrow as well. So yeah, things to think on. As we just have Banshees and Hellions to start off with. GuMiho is obviously well known for playing not just Bio, but mech, and so anytime he opens with Hellion Banshee, it's very standard, but then you're always like, is it possibly mech? And we see two more gases going down on the natural, which is your first indicator that this is most likely indeed going to be some mech kind of follow-up and mech continuation in the game. And that's so fun, because especially when we've got Banshees early, Hyperflight Rotors and just Speed Banshees could be a thing. GuMiho plays this super style, fun style of mech, because he plays mech that isn't just kind of sit back and camp it out. He plays mech like it's Bio a lot of the time. It's really fun to watch. It almost makes you wonder why mech isn't more popular amongst other Terrans when they can play it in such a typical kind of regulated way. So definitely a little interesting. There's Banshee, Tank, and two more factories come down. And like I say, the two extra gases was already the first indicator that this is likely going to be mech. The additional factories kind of really tell you that this is going to be more so kind of, factory focused. We're not going to maybe go super crazy on Banshees or anything. We could continue to build Banshees, but we might not be going like mass Sky Terran right off the bat, which is obviously not very normal. That would definitely be a weirdness in terms of choices made on this one, so understandable. Just a couple of factories. We did open missile upgrades, and with Roaches coming out and Hydras to back it up, it's not going to be a bad starting composition for Rogue to take on this mech army. Hive and, some Vipers are probably the next big thing he needs to aim toward, but otherwise, his general composition is just naturally in an okay place here. If this was like a Ling Bane opening and you don't know it's mech or something, then you could get into a lot of trouble very quickly. He scouts now with the Overseer, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just instantly says, okay, Infestation picked down, let's get myself toward that Hive, because I do think the priority should be on some Vipers. Vipers are very good at obviously dealing with tanks, but also very good at dealing with Cyclones, which is one of the things that GuMiho might like to go into here as well. GuMiho is quite the fan of playing into like the Cyclones and the aggression and the battle mech. And what the Vipers can do is by abducting the Cyclones in, you take away the efficiency of the Cyclones. These units which are always kiting backward and always getting away, you can really kind of just abduct them, and it's like, well, that wasn't efficient. You actually lost the units you're not meant to be using, right? So there's definitely a bit of value to be talked about there. That said, hold your horses, because, I say all this, and yet I think one important part to still point out is that there is no Cyclones on the map. We actually are just playing straight up siege tank reduction here from GuMiho. So to me, that part is actually kind of unexpected. This is just more traditional Hellion tank. I wonder if it's because he's kind of realized the roach-heavy style of his opponent, and he's recognizing the chance to kind of continue through with that. few Roaches and Hydras and Ravagers continue to make their way down to the bottom right-hand side, so we are going to go chasing across. USCVs popping out soon, tanks and Hellions still very much so on the way. As a couple of Banshee shots fire, the Roach Hydra taking some shots as well. A couple of Banshees will cloak, a few Roaches step up, the command center will cancel, and we do have ourselves a couple of tanks just going to be right there as the Hydra Roach army stepping forward is going to begin taking quite a few hits. Let's see if we can break through here as Rogue is. I think the answer is just no, especially as the Overseer just wasn't there and these Banshees are actually going to live because there's not enough Hydras anymore. So we're actually going to be able to push this all the way back, killing some key units as well. Like I say, the Hydras especially do not come freely here. They're fairly expensive tech-based units that you're using right from the get-go. So that's actually pretty serious. There's a few Vikings in this guy as well. We really didn't go overboard on the Banshees, but we've got a bunch of Vikings and they're clearing out Overlords now, and that's going to be Rogue, who actually does not have a lot of free Overlords in the game currently, actually genuinely taking quite a bit of damage. So Rogue actually ends up in a bit of a weird spot where this little initial shove doesn't do much, and only just recently has he started that infestation pit. I really feel like 3 minutes ago he could have scouted the mech, which he did, and just been like, cool, infestation pit, let's get toward Hive, especially against a tank-based army. Vipers are just incredible. And now it's just going to be so late to get there in comparison because he aimed for damage with the Roach Hydra and it just did nothing at all, unfortunately. Couple of tanks sieging up, the Vikings still maneuvering. The Banshee's going to go overhead, the Queen just going to get pushed back away the other side again. The Cyclone's still coming through, +1 vehicle weapons and mag field accelerator coming. Banshees will commit into the main base. 1, 2... drones going down right off the bat, so we do have ourselves a couple more CCs, armory, factories, continuing to build up as Vikings and Cyclones will build as well. We got the Infernal Pre-Igniter still on the way through, +1 vehicle weapons coming up, add a mag field accelerator onto that also. Missiles and that Overlord speed still very much so building out for the moment. The Hive not far from finishing, the Roaches and the Ovies coming up as well, a couple extractors and the Creep Tumor on the way in, and those Roaches still sneaking their way up that left side, or at least thinking about what they might want to try and do here for the next little bit. Some more CCs coming about, those Cyclones very much so still in production. What's up, Fleisch Icon? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 27-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting. As our Banshees will get a little bit of a chip off, but not too much. Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way. Just a lot of upgrades in general on the way as we take this forward command center now. So that's going to be the 5th base coming online. Getting put right into place from the very get-go here. There's a few Vipers still just kind of trickling along and upward as well. Aspire on the way through. Knock some rocks down. We do have again +2 vehicle weapons, the +1 vehicle plating. Still coming about. Cyclone's going to get one Roach, another Roach there in the corner. Also picked it off, that will also drop. Except these Vipers are going to gather up a little bit more energy, so like I say, Rogue's finally getting to the army that I want to see him on, but it just took him a little while to really kind of get to it there. Going to see the Rock's going to get knocked away at. We will knock those down. Again, the plating upgrades, the +2 vehicle weapons coming up. The Vikings and Cyclones continue through as well. Press on forwards, moving onto that creep spread. Those Cyclones begin locking on the Vipers. I think it's a nice abduct. I like the abduct from the Vikings trying to clear out the sky threat. It makes it easier, less Vikings as well. It means there's less stuff to shoot down the Vipers for future trades, right? So the Vipers can more easily get in and abduct in the future. I think that's very worthwhile taking note of. That's one of the priorities here from Rogue. It might just be that they were the easier grabs, but at the same time, I think there is definitely some value in aiming for the Vikings and knocking those down. Cyclone gets rid of the Overseer. It will fall. Vikings and everything else gathering up. The Roach Ravager Hydra looking to make a bit of a shove forward here. A couple of siege tanks going to get baled to death. Still got Vikings. The Banshees gathering up also. Link Speed, Roaches, Great Aspire all coming online. A few more battles. Going to grab a siege tank right there as well. It's pushing right to the edge of this tree, but usually the Roach Rider are going to engage, and again, you need those Vipers hitting those blind clouds, taking some of the tanks out of this fight right now. Absolutely necessary as the army continues to come across. And Rogue actually does a pretty good job of clearing up here. How far forward can you go? There is a point where you overextend a lot of the time against mech, right into, you know, a lot of the time, even just into the planetary or so. As the couple of orbitals will begin to take some shots. Siege tanks going down. Cyclones trying to fight back the other way. Still trading. Roaches get pushed backward. And CVs will go across as well. As we see the Infestors, the Roaches, the +3 missiles will still continue to come through for the moment. Cyclones lock on again. A couple of those Roaches will begin to take some shots. The Roaches still looking for the possibility of stepping forward there. Cyclones locking on. Just going to grab ourselves an Overlord. Another little scan coming down. Obviously, GuMiho trying to keep track of where this army of Rogue may be. The one thing about Rogue's army is it's definitely sizable. It's not as teched up, but there's a lot of units in it, right? And so you can't not know where it is, because if that army jumps on you and you're not ready, that's exactly how Rogue is going to find good fights and have a good time. So expanding a lot of scans, making sure you're 100% aware of where those units are at. I love this. The Banshees from earlier in the game just diving onto a couple of these Infestors. Force the Fungal, so you kill one Infestor, you get the Fungal and the energy off of another. That's another Fungal, so these Infestors are just now not in the fight at all. Now you've got no Infestors compared to what you originally had. And that's an extremely effective use of those Banshees, which, you know, have definitely been something which you've kind of been just clinging onto for a moment like this. And man, do they deliver in the end. Lovely stuff as the Roaches try and dive in. The Cyclones will find so much value, though, kiting back against those Roaches or chasing them down once they try and retreat as well. We're just going to shoot a couple of Hellbats, dropping as the Cyclones continue to go to work. I mean, the Hellbats just doing a great job of tanking the damage, right? They're slow to get rid of, and we actually do still have some Banshees up in the sky that are going to go after Infestor again. So GuMiho really coming out against this army of Rogue and saying, hey, I kind of just have an answer across the board. I have a good army comp. I have good usage of the Banshees. I know exactly when I want to deal with those as well. Two more Lings, Roaches, and the Hydras coming over. Just going to see the Cyclones still kiting away. Well, Banshees will finish off the Queen. Here with Fire State on the way up, we add on a +2 melee upgrade as well. 3 battle cruisers on the way as well, by the way. So GuMiho knows he's winning these fights, and so he knows he can get away with the tech up, and that's exactly what he's going for. Rogue is going to be super reliant on these neural parasites, and I'm not sure he's going to find what he needs with those. I feel like we've got the tools to remove Infestors from the game, and that should be, like I say, a lot of what we're looking for here. There's a couple of Banshees come in, going to hit that hatchery with a few Cyclones to join up as well. Oh, that's clean up. The few Lings going down. The Roaches, Infestors, Hydras still moving about a little bit as well. So just continue to get going. Still got the Roaches and Ravagers stepping through. The Infestors looking for something a little bit extra here as we do drop a Fungal Growth down. The few battle cruisers escaping away. At this point, you can definitely just see that this is going to be a an ever-growing issue for Rogue is GuMiho loses some supply. It's just like, okay, great, but, you know, I'm still going to be able to replace it. He's actually pretty rich. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of gas in the bank, and this is annoying. The battle cruisers are going to start killing each other. As the neural parasites are okay there. Reneural as well. Needs to keep those reneurals up to stop anything crazy happening. Yep, gets them all up, and the only problem is BCs are heavily armored, right? And so, funny thing is when they fire a lot, their armor upgrades against each other are going to be pretty, you know, fantastic as well. So BCs do not kill each other quickly. Tanks firing the Roach Rouge again turned away. Two more shots going off there. We're running out of neural parasites because all we're doing is neuraling the battle cruisers, like on repeat, and they're just so slow at killing each other, man. And neural this one again. Finally neurals back. They'll attack click on each other. Finally get one of those kills. Kind of a funny scenario that has those BCs super tanky and absolutely putting their work in. This game has just not been pretty for Rogue. He went for that initial Roach Hydra attack, it got shut down. You just feel like he's not really been in a very commanding position at all since that point. Gonna see the BCs flying through the main base. It's gonna be having the Hellbats in the bottom left, gonna go after the hatchery. I'm gonna take that out. I mean, Rogue is just dying, realistically, and has been for a while. GG's from him, and GuMiho takes the opening game of the day as comfortably as that. That really was just... yeah. It really was just very, very... solid stuff from GuMiho. He got into a good position and he absolutely maintained it. Very nicely done. Alright guys, just give it a minute or so. Start the stream, gotta get some ads in. And yeah, we will kick off into game number 2. GuMiho taking the 1-0 lead. Because I just feel like from the majority of this fight, for some reason I feel like, you know, it's not quite the case, but I feel like for the majority of the fight we were literally watching just 3 BCs attacking each other. I know it was only the last 2 minutes or so, but man, it just felt like that was never ending. Never ending. Alright, let's head into game number 2. Where are we at on the ads? Yeah, we should be fine. In the top right-hand side, the blue Zerg player is going to be Rogue. He is down a game in this best of 3. Really, again, just kind of flumped on his first attack against this mech army and just never really got going again. So, yeah. Bottom left, GuMiho. Will he play mech again? Is he going to bio it up this time? We shall see. lines our map. As map goes, I actually think this is the kind of map which GuMiho again likes playing some of the battle mech on sometimes. We'll see if that's a factor. And if it is, I do wonder again what Rogue's kind of go-to plan will be. It was interesting. I do again want to pinpoint from GuMiho that he didn't rush battle mech. Like, he did play the tanks initially. SCV mines up a few minerals, pulls off to the side, CC goes down. Just gonna see the Reaper and the Orbital coming up, CC on the way. Alright, well, Lynx be coming up, feelings on the way. We just have ourselves a couple queens continuing out, factory still producing on through. We just have that CC coming up as well, so again, just a fairly standard first few minutes here. Reaper wants a drone, has a good chance of getting it, but it becomes a spore crawler, so Rogue will keep that alive. And not let that get too out of hand. A couple CCs still coming up, and again, the Lynx speed and the drones continue through as well. Ooh, I'm gonna get the Reaper, so it's not gonna do much else. A little bit of a shame to lose it right there, just on the edge, not really doing much. Obviously just trying to scout a little bit. Punch coming down. Again, we have a starport on the way. Eyes on those natural gases of GuMiho. Are we going to mech it up again? He hasn't even got his gas in the main base yet, so we're a little ways off maybe having our eyes on the natural. Feelings coming about, the road drawing coming up. That's just going to finish in that bottom right-hand side very shortly, as we just have the Rotoron, the Lings, the Overlord, and Queen continue to come about for the moment. Hello everyone on the YouTube chat, saying good morning, and hello as well. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Some GSL replay casting to fill your afternoon of full of StarCraft. Appreciate you guys dropping by. Good to see you all. Again, we're going to do the entirety of this Group A. I started a little late today, just because, like I said, I was giving live GSL Group B a chance to finish up. Before I got started, I was keeping an eye on whether it was still live or not. So I'm not sure if we'll have any time for Group B today. I would like to catch Group B, and then the playoffs are on Sunday, but I've got a lot of events going on already right now, so I'm not 100% sure where or how we're going to approach that exactly, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. As these Lings are going to go diving in. 9 SCVs go down, the few Lings go the other direction. Hellions will continue to be chased. 9 dead SCVs. It's a really nice just initial run and just gets a bunch of worker damage. That is a fantastic starting point for only 14 Lings as well, so very cheap. Third CC is scared to move down into location as well, and hey, this is just real for GuMiho, who has invested into that early game armory as well. That's not exactly going to help him now, right? I mean, you can't go across the map and harass, because it's very much so, your opponent's very much so aware of what's going on. You can build roaches, you're sitting back defensively, and that's not ideal. Again, the Hydra's still coming up. Let's get the, again, +1 missiles, the roach speed continue to come through as well. As the Hydra Den will finish very shortly. So we're back on that Roach Hydra composition, but this time at least Rogue's going to be playing from that better position. So getting some damage done early and taking a bit of an edge. We'll see what he can do. I mean, he might just cut workers and just go for a big attack, which might not be misplaced with the way that this game has set up this time around. Couple of Vikings coming across. Overlord will get knocked down again, so again, a few shots coming about here and there. RO8 Ravager still coming through. +1 missiles. Again, Hydra speed coming up as well. And again, the extra factories coming through. Vikings in production as well, so going to get a few of those to zone. Like I say, Rogue has cut workers, so he is going to be kind of sending it. As those roaches gather up, refinery gets cancelled. It's going to be seen as scan on that right-hand side. Match is going to be seen as GuMiho sees it coming back in, so he's just double-checking where we're at in terms of getting built back up here. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit of an odd one. Like I say, Rogue kind of looking as though he wants to go. Vikings just going to sit there. The Roach Ravager just still gathering about. I mean, this is just rough for GuMiho. He can't take his third base, and if he can't take his third base, he really will just remain in a bit of trouble here. I think this is going to get very tough for him. I mean, he's kind of, well, Ben more Banshee's tanks, like, he should be able to get set up defensively here, but he's taking a very long time. Rogue's going to be maxed out. Just flying over. We're going to take a couple of shots. Just going to see that going down. The other Ravager getting chased away for a few moments. Still got the infestation bit, the evolution chamber, and additional roaches producing from Rogue, Banshee, Hellion, Tank, Cloak. Continuing up. Those tanks continue to siege Urenio. I mean, this is going to have to be a very miraculous defense. There's so much Zerg. I know we're attacking into a very defensive position in army, but there we go. A couple of siege tanks going to be going down. The Ravagers continue to fight. SCV's going down as well. And he was right to pull the SCVs. You have to keep the tanks alive in this scenario, but there just wasn't enough. The entirety of this game was kind of went off the wrong end for GuMiho, and again, he really struggled to kind of bring it back. That is going to be him kind of just losing out. There's not much to hold on with anymore. These tanks keep dropping. GG says GuMiho. And Rogue is going to take game 2. So we are going to get tied up in this opening match of this group. So Rogue will bring it back a game. And we'll be heading on into Tokamak for a game 3. Let's go straight into it. Let's just head into game 3 straight away. Should be able to squeeze in without ads, I think. And let's see what happens in a deciding map. So, like I say, pretty important because the winner of this gets a chance at the winner's match. This is a difficult group. A loser's match is not going to be easy against Solar or Maru, whoever ends up there. And like I say, even if it's the expected result of maybe Solar's a difficult opponent. So, no one wants to be in that elimination match. No one wants to end up having to play there, because like I say, if you lose in the elimination match today, you are not going to make it to EWC, because the other guy is going to be ahead of you in the group, right? If you're last place in this group, one other player is You know, because GuMiho and Rogue are the two players who need EWC seeds still. So whichever one of them finishes last or further back in the group is 100% not going to make it to EWC, so that's kind of rough. Like I say, it's definitely a big talking point for all of these events that are happening lately. It's a little sad to make, you know, big events into kind of essentially just kind of prestigious qualifiers or glorified qualifiers, but they really are. EWC dwarfs everything else in terms of size and, you know, money on the line, so I'm pretty sure like qualifying to EWC is more prize money than first place of a GSL, so that EWC qualification really is a massive factor. Korea kind of got a little bit of a good deal because obviously the fact that 4 Koreans qualified in Dallas, Classic, Solar, Shin, and Maru really opened up extra spaces here in the GSL and obviously in those Korean qualifiers as well. Obviously, you know, Reno and Cyril could have maybe made top 4 in Dallas, then you would have had 2 more Europeans guaranteed into EWC and 2 less Koreans. So that Dallas event really opening the doors for a lot more of the Korean players to make it to EWC this year. Like I say, we're still scrapping it down to the final spots. There will be a global qualifier in a couple weekends' time, so that's also a factor too. Just something else to keep in mind. For the Marines setting up, we get settled. You can see that link speed coming about. A couple of queens still going through. Overlord on the way up. Command Center factory in the reactor coming about as well as we get everything rolling. The Reaper going to fight against a couple of those lings. Oh, GuMiho lost that Reaper kind of quickly last game too when it jumped into that main base, got shot down, lost his ability to kind of keep on scouting and keep on, you know, gathering information for those sort of scenarios. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a shame there. As CC in the orbital coming up, SEV coming through. Actual land onto the reactor. A couple of Hellions gather together, and we'll see the link speed queens continue to come about. CC barracks, the extra Hellions still all coming up, so we bring that all through. And there's extra Hellions coming about, laying a few drones on the way in. Queen's getting set at the front. So we just get settled down. Again, the Hellions popping. It is Stimpack on the way from GuMiho, so we're going to try something a little bit different here now for this game 3. Get into that 3rd game. And I think that's one of the best parts of GuMiho's play is that the mech isn't predictable because he will bio on a lot of maps as well. And so you never quite know what it is 100%, which means you can't just blind counter the mech, which is one of the reasons why a lot of players who prefer the mech kind of get bullied and pushed into difficult spots. But that's not really the case in this one, so Hellions and that Reaper chipping away at the hatchery for a few moments already. Getting some good damage done over there. Hatch is building up. The Hellions and the Reaper continue to gather together. Spire, Evolution Chamber, all on the way out as the Hellions try and make a dive through into the natural expansion. Lings are going to be there, and the Lings are actually going to get a little bit of a catch, so GuMiho's initial Hellions not going to do much, honestly. I mean, that's a great catch, good surrounds, and Rogue absolutely denying those Hellions from succeeding as we get straight on through. So a bunch of those Hellions go down. Marines and Medivacs continuing to pop. Marines will continue over. The Overseer will take some damage as well. Oh, that was a little bit of a rough start. Now you lose a lot of map control. Now you get a lot more freedom as Rogue, who's playing that super fast Spire. Super fast Spire against a fast Stim and Marines should give the Marines a lot of opportunity, honestly. There's not going to be a lot of other units. Just having a defense available against the You know, the mutas having naturally built units that are going to be good against them is going to be a major benefit for sure. So that's going to get interesting, I think, over this next little while. While the Ling's still moving back and around. Let's just have the +1 attack, combat shield on the way. The Marines already unloading over there as well, going to be coming out. And so far, just some Ling's going to pressure this though. This keeps the Marines back and gives the mutas a chance to get on the map, which is huge. But what about the dive in the natural? Might have not been a bad idea, honestly. There wasn't a lot over there, so that actually might have been a fairly reasonable choice to go for. Didn't commit to it in the end though, unfortunately. Does not send that. And just continue to build up here. So we bring those out, that bailing speed on the way in as well. Attack and combat shield upgrades still building through. And again, that bailing speed is coming up alongside a couple of mutas, which are on the way in as well. So we bring a lot of that up and online right now. Combat shield finishing, +1 done soon. Again, the Ling Bane continuing to build up as well. The orbital command still gathering. The few Marines stem across to the right to zone the Mutalisks out over and away. Now we have the Baneling showing up, and the few Zerglings going to come along with that as well. The Marines can target fire the Banes. Lifts up though before we get rid of all of them. Missile turret will go down, opens the third base to attack from these Mutas a little bit more easily. And the SCVs had to pull away. Only 4 workers go down. We maintain a lot of Marines, which I feel like gives us a pretty good position to play from, honestly, but we shall see exactly where we end up. Medevacs and Marines coming through. The +1 armor upgrade coming up as well. It's still gathering together, and we'll see a few Marines going to threaten there. Just going to stem up a little bit to go towards those Mutalisks and try and make something happen for a couple of moments. Mutas really are just gathering and looking for their chance to strike in the coming moments. Just going to be seeing the Marines stemming up. Mutas get chased away. Banes and the Carapace upgrade coming through as well. Marines to step forward, and again, the Mutalisks will be chased for a little while. Melee upgrades and the Carapace upgrades still coming up. GuMiho has only the +1 attack upgrade, so working on 2-1 upgrades now. The Muta's actually going to find that engineering bay now. There's units nearby, but it's definitely a target for the future. Medevac's taking the chance of the Mutas being at the top side of the map, though, and saying, cool, if you guys are over there, we'll go down over this way instead. So, going to take that opportunity. Muta's still being annoying, though. I like it from Rogue. Just kind of finding openings, finding moments where they can just get a couple of grabs and then head away. You know, they're not trying to push their luck. They're not trying to stick around for too long or anything like that. They're just seeing an opportunity, grabbing a little bit of it, and then backing up straight after. I like what they're doing. It's one of those things where it feels like it's just a refinery, right? How much can that really matter? Well, actually, quite a lot, you know? Actually, yeah, it helps out a pretty serious amount altogether. As these Banes come across, and that is going to make a defense over here. A little defense coming around, the Marines unloading as the Medevacs will gather up once more. Jump back into the high ground, +2 melee, +1 melee, sorry, and the +2 Carapace coming up, fly attack upgrade coming through as well. Single Marine just nibbling at the hatchery. The Mutas want to go for the missile turret, but there's a lot of SCVs repairing. He's actually going to target SCVs now instead, which is the better choice. I think he's actually, never mind, back on the missile turret. He's not getting any kills, but he's obviously busy dealing with this attack. As GuMiho does kind of get a hatchery, so 5th base going down. He's moved into the main finally after fighting that missile turret for a while to no avail. And now we'll see those few Marines continuing to bunch around and go after Group Tumors, a Queen, Lings. Damage being done across the board as those Marines get kind of wrapped around and going to be forced to lift up. Only a handful of Mutas over here, so not enough to realistically chase down the Medevacs. Not too much we can do there in the slightest, as again, +1 fly attack, +2 Carapace, all coming up for the moment. Extra Mutas, the Queen, the Lings, building in. And the +2 attack upgrade coming up as well in the engineering bay. We as well hit those medevacs. Pushed away over to the side once more. So got the 2-2s coming through, the Overlord speed coming online. Building up a good amount of this just for the moment so we continue to get settled down. Mules coming. The mutas are going to go diving for the drilling claws upgrade. That's actually kind of a nice denial. Drilling claws are the kind of thing you'd like to keep going for yourself, right? You'd like to keep kind of in your favor. So, getting a grab on that is kind of nice from the Zerg. Especially against a Ling Muta army, right? Drilling claws is really going to help in that situation. So, definitely a factor. Thor going to be up in the medevacs. It's going to be seeing +2 flyer attack and +2 melee still coming about. He is going to go and grab a refinery. Still seeing the infestation pit coming through. Hatchery on the way up. Extra banelings building as well. So again, getting a chunk of those out. Vita's still coming through. And online, I wouldn't mind even there going to grab a few Zerglings. +2 armor and drilling claws continuing to build. A couple Liberators to siege up across this position. He is flying around. We do have the Lingbane continuing across. As the Lings dive through, a couple of SCVs are going to go get jumped on. The Lings are going to go find some damage there. A few of those SCVs dropping. Bulwark is going down. A little bit of Lingbane going to turn into all these Marines. Crash through, and a bunch of those Marines taking damage right off the bat. And Hive and Lings coming through, the +2 flyer attack coming up. The Marines are going to stem, the Lings take damage, Liberators continue to siege. Lingbane still trying to dive on forward. The Thor going down. Just going to be seeing this push back. The Marines continue to get shoved away. I mean, it's just flying through. I mean, essentially entering something of a base trade, right? The amount of damage that they're doing. The problem is you're base trading against a Zerg who is actually making a pretty good case for defending on their side of the map. So this defense continuing to, look pretty reasonable for the moment. The Bane's going to crash in again. Marines continue to drop. The Predator will in siege. Muta's just going to go jump onto the planetary fortress. A little bit more bio chasing across that left-hand side. As the Mutas get chased away, Queen going to take a few more shots as well. I mean, those Liberators have been MVPs. They've done so much sitting there, just kind of adding damage throughout, but I mean, I feel as though, yeah, with the Mutas coming back, we actually ignore the medevacs. There were some units inside there, so that would have been an alright attack. Rest of the bio still pushing through. 17 dead drones. GuMiho still looking for a shove then. Army supplies are pretty close, 96 to 86. And GuMiho has minerals in the bank. It's just, putting use to those. He doesn't have enough production right now. It seems only 5 Marines producing currently. He's obviously being ransacked in his main base throughout this game, as we are going to see the Banes crashing. It's a very convincing fight from Rogue. This was a 10 army supply advantage, and now it's like 30 or 40 army supply advantage. Enough to get GuMiho to GG out and Rogue to claim victory in this series. That's going to be a 2-1, and he will advance on through to the next round. Congrats to Rogue. Getting to that winners match is huge. Puts GuMiho in a precarious position with his EWC seed still to be fought for in the near future. Alright guys, we're going to go next matchup, Solar versus Maru. We'll get the ad started on this, and we'll get ready to rumble. Alrighty guys, take a couple of moments. We'll get ourselves settled into Solo versus Maru. Just let the ads play out between series here, and we'll continue through. So you know what I didn't actually think of is I'm kind of fingers crossed, hoping we get a TVZ winners and losers match instead of the mirrors. But I was talking about if we get a TVT, we'll do that one first. But I was like, actually, there's gonna be, if there's a TVZ, there would also be a ZVZ in this group. So winners and losers would both be a mirror. So in that case, we'd probably just do winners match then losers match anyway. So yeah, we'll probably just do. I mean, if it's ZVZ, yeah, it'll be winners match first now, I guess, because Rogue's already there. And if it's not, then it's TVZ. So yeah, we'll just do winners match after this series. So if you guys want a rough idea of what we're doing and in what order, we can kind of roll from there. That is the plan around. Like I said, we'll get into this matchup between Solar and Maru in just a few moments, guys. Giving it a couple minutes for the ads. They do support the channel. They do allow us to keep on streaming and StarCrafting and all the rest of it. Without the ads and your guys' support, we wouldn't be able to do our thing. So thank you so much for helping us to do our thing. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Actually, about 30. Yeah, about 20 seconds, then we can go, guys. Nice. Oh, what's up, BV Jom? How you doing? 40-month resub. Nice round number. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for resubscribing. Super appreciate it. Thank you so much for 40 months of support. Amazing to see. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying, do consider supporting. I say it again and again. Not going to start too much. I prefer to start doing our own events, because then I can really hammer home the point that we're throwing money into StarCraft. But obviously, if you guys do want to support and so on. Our sub count is sub 500, which is a little miserable. It's been a tough couple of weeks with Dallas into qualifiers, and I was in Poland, of course, and then into Bulgaria. So it's been a rough couple of weeks. Hopefully getting back on track in the near future, though, at the very least. Hopefully. All right. Yeah, let's click the watch button. Will I be at Home Story Cup? Yes, I will be at Home Story Cup. Hopefully see a bunch of you all there. If you see me, absolutely please say hi. I'm not a great conversationalist, but I will do my absolute best to hear you excitedly talk to me about StarCraft. You know? Whoa, Loco with the raid. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. We're casting some GSL games from yesterday. Hope you guys are doing great. What was Loco playing today? Was he getting lost in his mansion again, or was he fighting monstrosities in Cloud Obscure? Loco literally playing two games that I've already watched someone else play right now. This guy really knows how to pick them. The 46th room remains closed for now, Saj. Oh, you gotta be getting close, though. You've gotta be getting close. You're on the right track for sure. Ah. You're very close. Getting RNG'd. No, you'll get there. I'm really excited to see your response when you find it. I'm actually really excited to see... I'm really excited for your realization of how cool the game is. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully spoiler free. Yo, what's up, Paul? Oh, how do I say that? Palm Uno? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. How you doing? Thank you so much for priming us up. As, yeah, if you just joined us here, guys, we are covering the GSL round of 8 Group A. This happened yesterday. Obviously, there was GSL Group earlier today as well. I generally do them on a different day that the day they were played, just to, you know, maybe catch a few different people and stuff. So yeah, these games are just from yesterday. Please no spoilers if you did watch them. We're obviously out here chilling and just enjoying, so... I have not seen these games myself. I actually don't know the results, so... yeah. And yo, what's up, In Kamui? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. They are 35% off right now if you give 5 subs or more. So thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Going out to Shadow Prison, Shadow Samurais. Whoa, 2 shadows. How about that? Melvin FI, Pupu667, and Berserker Vibes. What's up? Thank you so much for the gifted Subarinos. I appreciate it. We're starting off this TVZ with Maru and Solo without too much really taking place just yet. Link speed on the way, hatchery coming up, a couple of drones being added on. The Marines will go after an Overlord initially. And we just see the factory finishing, command center building. Everything's pretty normal to start this game. A little bit of pre-phase, obviously, Solo and Maru. A matchup which is... it's kind of weird. Like, they're not really rivals because Maru always beats Solo. And that's really the storyline of this. They've played a lot, and every time they play, Maru wins. I mean, there was that time Solo was really going to win, and then the nuke landed on his entire army. Like, this is a cursed matchup for Solo, and I actually feel bad that he ended up playing Maru in the finals at Dallas, because I really, really thought maybe that was going to be, you know, the one. To kind of see Solo kind of get a win again, and then Maru made the finals, and again, Maru just looked great once more. Yeah, Maru was looking a lot better there than I honestly thought he was. I went into that event saying I don't know what to expect from Maru. Maru's like, shut up, Wardy, this is why you're a little online caster. Because I'm freaking ready to win things, you know. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. A little support to keep SC2 hype going. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Queens and Hellbat's going to step forward. The Queen's going to get stepped away as we have a couple of Lings going to come down. Lings stepping over. Hellbat's going to go around, and we do have a few Marines. Just have ourselves the factories continuing up, so we are going to be seeing Maru going for a little bit of mech here. That's kind of interesting that Maru is going to kind of play the mech because I know Solo's a little bit tilted playing against Cyclones lately because I know Cyclones are not exactly... I feel like their lock-on cooldown is faster than it's meant to be, so it's like, you know, they recharge and can lock on again very quickly. I know Solo's voiced some opinions about that, so I feel like Maru might be trying to get under his skin a little bit. I guess we'll see how it goes. Roger one coming up. Drones on the way. Queen being added in. And they just get settled. See the little bit of creep spread spreading out to the upper side as well. As yeah, a couple of creep teamers just going to drop on down. The Hellions and the Stim Pack coming up as well. Roach run is about to finish. The last still coming up. We got the Cyclones and the Mac field on the way, so yeah, no surprises. This is what I was more expecting out of GuMiho, just instant Cyclone production. He really went into the tanks quite heavily before he went Cyclones in his games against Rogue, so definitely a little bit of a veer off in a direction I was not quite expecting. Hellions going to get rid of the couple creep tumors again, so we knock those down. Again, Cyclones and Hellions still on the way through. The Hellions grab a Zergling. Evolution Chamber, Blair, Roaches, Overlords. Still just little bits of everything continue to come about right now as the Cyclone Mac field upgrade continues to come about. It's going to get there. So I'm going to get chased. It's going to get a little grab on that. So the Ling will go down. Plus 1 vehicle weapons, and again, 2 more factories continue to come about for the moment. So we still bring that through. The +1 attack and the roach speed coming up as well. As the Hellions will go and grab a creep tumors. Just going to nab that as well. Nice little grab. Solo staying active with the Zergling, obviously just heading into the roaches, the right composition against this initially. We'll see what he adds on beyond the roaches. Like, are we going to add Hydras to this? Is he going to rush out a Hive and just try and play a Roach Ravager Viper? I actually think that might be kind of the go-to for Solo. Obviously, it's very difficult right now with that Roach speed. Fortunately, Macfield wasn't finished yet, so the Roaches were not taking as much damage. Now they take a little bit extra as the Ravagers start to morph in. The Hellions coming about. Hatchery will take some damage once more. Queen's going to shoot. The Hellions getting turned away. Roach is still stepping over. As the Ravagers continue to gather up. Again, Infernal Pre-Igniter. Cyclones on the way up. +1 vehicle weapons coming through as well. Hatchery will go down. I mean, this was just Solar not really having the tech online fast enough to really fight back against this. GSL Observer having a nap. GSL Observer really having a nap. Jesus, there's Roach on the other side as well, guys. Yeah, I mean, people complain about my Observer. This guy's getting paid, you know? Unbelievable. Alright, Roach Ravager continues to chase. It's funny because these Roaches are actually going to end up kind of surrounding these Cyclones. Solar backed away from the top side, which is probably smart because if you do... yeah, if you do kind of chase in from the, you know, if you do keep chasing from the top, Maru could have maybe turned into those units. But this is a little disastrous. I mean, supply-wise, you've got to remember that this is Roach heavy from Solar, and it's still just Roaches, missile upgrade. No future game plan for Solar. Not even the drone count is kind of suggesting a future kind of plan. That said, he's on 3 bases, and he's on 3 base saturation, so he's got no reason to add additional drones on anyway. Very nice that after losing his 4th, he is at the very least able to push the 3rd base of Maru back, because that's going to keep him in the game a little bit. Now the siege tank going down as well, so that was misrallied, and that's going to be a shame. And now the other tank is just going to be sieged up in the natural as well. Cyclone locking on, Roach will fall. Tanks in the +1 vehicle plating on the way up as we continue to try and get some upgrades in for this mech army. Again, with tanks coming out, we're trying to solidify our position in these next few moments. Solidify that and see where we can go. As a few Hellions get turned away, the Roaches will do a great job of keeping those Hellions back and pushing that away for the moment. +2 attack, +2 vehicle weapons coming up as well. Still got ourselves the command center coming through. The overlords are coming. Ravager's doing a great job. Siege tank's taking a few more hits. Hellions taking some shots as well. Another mule just getting dropped down. +2 vehicle weapons and +1 vehicle plating continue to come by also as the 8 swarm hosts continue to build. Cyclone falls, and again 11 swarm hosts building up right now. Just gonna have ourselves this from an advantage is very difficult to deal with, right? Because you're gonna have the Zerg trading super effectively and efficiently from a very early stage, and you can't really do much. I mean, this run by is great. You're gonna get a few drones, and you're gonna scare Solar into, you know, playing a bit more defensive maybe. It's kind of what you need right now as Maru, but I mean, Solar's maxed out. Like I say, the aggression is gonna start and it's gonna hit hard, and it's realistically just gonna keep on hitting. He's only on 70 drones, but that's fine because you're playing the swarm hosts. Swarm host compositions do not need as many workers to, you know, make themselves work, basically. So it's definitely a factor. And come the Locust. Obviously, the whole idea is the Locust tank. If the Locust tank, then everything else can kind of come through fairly freely. The tank's getting some shots off. Focus firing the Ravagers right now, letting the Hellbats deal with some of the Locusts. That's a pretty well-handled first wave of this by Maru. I love the target firing. Again, knocking down a lot of the more expensive units of Solar at first, and making this not a free trade, taking away some of the potential efficiency you're looking to play around when you're utilizing the swarm hosts in these positions. So, love to see that. As again, the +2 vehicle weapons finishing shortly. The few Cyclones are very much so still on the way out. Had a few Hellbats on in there as well. Cyclones get rid of another Roach. There's the Hydra Den coming down. I wonder if the late game plan includes lurkers or if this is just for some Hydras as a little bit of an aid. Cyclones doing what they can, trying to protect those siege tanks. As some of the tanks go down, it does open the door for these Ravagers and Roaches to maybe get a little bit further forward on this base. Roaches still producing through. Just gonna have the Infestor coming up. Cyclone Hellbat coming around. The few SCVs going down as well. Roach Ravager going to turn around there, and we do have another Cyclone being picked away at for the moment. Roach Infestor gathering. Cyclone Hellbat still on the way through. Have those Locusts continuing to make a way forward. This is the issue. This is one of those phases of the game where it feels as though Solo's been in a great spot, but you still have to finish it off. And a lot of the times here, you trade into the Terran repeatedly, and then eventually the Terran just holds on, gets into the base, and you're in trouble. I think what really needs to happen here for Maru to truly succeed right now is he needs to get to the 4th base. If he can get to the 4th, I do think he's going to be in a very cozy position. Yeah, I think if he can get to the 4th base, he can be in a very playable spot, for sure. Like, that seems crazy, because I think the 4th base is not easy to get, don't get me wrong. It's just, if you get there, then I think Solo has to stop and reconsider what he's doing, because then he's just not trading well enough to justify his opponent having a 4th base of mining. Again, we do a good job there. The Locusts get rid of another tank. Every tank that goes down opens the doors. The Swarm is actually going to tank some Cyclone shots as the Roach Ravager will come up this ramp, so the Roach Ravager doesn't take damage. I actually love the couple of Infestors. I talked a lot about Vipers against this. Same idea with the Infestors, where if you fungal growth the Cyclones, you stop them from running away and just kind of getting out of there and trading freely. So, same idea. The Spellcaster is really just shutting down the efficiency of the Cyclones, so I love seeing a couple mixed in. A stray fungal or two can really have their moments. Unfortunately, not if the Infestors get locked onto and killed before they recharge their energy, but obviously that comes with the control. Idea great, execution of keeping those Infestors alive this time around, not quite there. Some Locusts going to show up from the other side, and they are going to drop on in as the Roach Ravager will use those as bait to get forward and just drop a few more barrels and a few more hits. You see the 4th base on the left side, and Solo's like, I do not think so. Just don't think that's really going to be allowed at all. Just going to force that to lift off, and I'm sure we're going to keep tabs on that. Now that you're very aware of it, you can definitely continue to send units toward it and just try to draw Maru thin. Maru's army supply is creeping upward. His supply in general is creeping up. It was like 120-ish at one point. Now it's like 140. It's very slow progress, but it is progress, right? At the end of the day, that's what really counts right now, that we are going the right direction for Maru. Can he keep holding on for long enough? Another round of Swarmhorse Logos coming up. We've got a few Fungals available here as well. That Fungal's going to be huge. Hits the Hellbats, hits the Cyclones. You can kind of just see it coming. And now the Locusts start to drop in from the side as well. Everything all at once here from Solar is going to come in and hit hard. 11 new Roaches coming through. Still working on that Hydra speed. That's the problem, though. The moment he turns around and tries to get away, the Cyclone lock-ons get a lot of free value, right? As SCV count has been dropping as well. Harassment on that base over there has continued to add up over time. It's another way in which Solar is just chipping away at Maru. It's still 70 SCVs. We're still pretty comfortable for Maru economy-wise. Is he comfortable overall? He has the Swarm Host on cooldown, and again, the Cyclones have an opportunity to trade out into Kite and to maybe give themselves a little bit more of an option. We get rid of one of the Swarm Hosts there. A few Locusts dropping in, and the Cyclones will have to step back. SCV's going down too. Cyclone gets a lock on. Ravager will take some damage. A couple corrosive vials dropping into places. Hydra Infestor is going to be on the production tab for the Solar, so not just massing Roaches anymore. A few of the techier units really being rebuilt into, especially those Hydras. So you take a chance just to jump onto this Order Command. Maru's just going to have to lift up, and all these SCVs unprotected. Man, the SCV count on the side of your screen has just been growing. We are now at only 40 workers from Maru, and that's definitely going to start making the difference. Maru might have had the 4th base for a little bit, but Solar's been able to respond very well, shutting down a lot of the economy that was meant to make that 4th base really potentially the game changer, the turning point at which Maru just starts to feel so much more comfortable again. Plus 3 vehicle weapons on the way, a few additional siege tanks coming through, and Solar is definitely looking very, very solid right now. In this opening game of the best of 3 in the opening match for these two in this GSL round of 8. Just in position will deflect the Hellions. Not too much else to be done there. Burrow upgrade, Carapace upgrade, continue to come on through. Ling Roach, Spinecrawler Hatchery, building up for the moment. We continue to come across. Still got plus 3 vehicle weapons coming through. The siege tank coming online. The raises and the tank will not get hit just yet. It's not long before the Ravagers show up. Oh, what a fungal in the Cyclones. Do we have a follow-up on that? We're going to hit another fungal, and we will just kind of chase our way forward. Maru going to say GG. We are going to be able to get ourselves a win here from Solar. He gets a 1-0 lead and steps off in the right direction against a Maru who, like I said at the start of this, is typically the player who beats Solar, who's typically the player that stops a lot of Solar's runs and makes his life pretty miserable. So, great start from Solar here as he gets a 1-0 lead, and we'll be jumping into Game 2 of this in just a couple moments. We'll be talking back for Game 2. Guys, I just gotta run ads. We had a couple longer games already today, so just gotta sneak those ads in between maps still and keep them out from during the games. Again, they're an important part of the stream, being able to continue on a nice regular basis. I guess give it about a minute for the ads and we'll jump into game number 2 here. The problem with replays is that you can go so quickly between them. It's like sometimes you gotta stop, hold up, and wait a little bit. Because obviously usually we have to host lobbies and invite casters in and stuff. That naturally fills the time between games. And then during replays we're just like, we're ready to click the next one, but like I say. Gotta run the ads. Kinda keep those going. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, let's jump in game number 2, guys. Tokamak is gonna be our map. Get this going. And yeah, we'll see if Maru wants to try and play mech again. The flavor of the day, apparently. Gotta imagine Solo coming into this group is somewhat ready for mech stuff because obviously GuMiho's in the group. There's a good chance you play against GuMiho, so you gotta imagine that there's some preparation there from Solar against that kind of a playstyle, so let's see what we get. As in the top right-hand side, up 1 in this best of 3, we have the blue Zerg player, Solar. Representing Falcons, of course. And already qualified to EWC, as is this man. Obviously, this is a rematch from the DreamHack Dallas Finals. That was an EWC qualifier. Both of these guys picked up their EWC seed there. In the bottom left-hand side, the red Terran player is Maru. As the hat-trick comes down, Maru will place the barracks on the low ground, which has been indicative of mech play from GuMiho. And no extra SCV going down to build barracks 2. Maybe that is something of our plan again. Just gonna get that Reaper out quick, and then it doesn't mean your, add-on is going to be exposed and on the low ground, and just your production is in general going to be exposed there, which doesn't seem ideal, but that's just where we are going to be standing with that. There's not really anything you can do to stop it right now, as the TLDR of that situation, so see how it ends up as the barracks and the SCV continue through Hatchcastle Pool building. Again, reactor and the orbital building in for the moment. Reactor going to be building on the barracks, the command center coming up. I see a couple of Marines going to go after the Zergling. I'm going to turn that the other way. Let's see now our links be coming up then. The SCV and the Marine gathering together. And again, the command center and the orbital will continue to come through as the Marines gather on up. Link getting down to the bottom side, just going to potentially move through to the natural, try and poke away for a little bit. Link speeder is about to finish. The Marine's already going to hit that hatchery, so hatchery can take some damage on the third base here. Damage being done. Couple Queens going to fire. Lings get turned just for a second. Oh, sorry, Marines get turned for a moment. As they continue to be here, though, and they actually will still apply a bit of pressure. So this hatchery will be taking some early damage that you're not typically expecting to have, because it's just plain old Marines. Double engineering bay behind this telling us that we are going to see some bio play rather than attempts to play mech again. But yeah, 4 Hellions on the map with those Marines. Some damage done, but nothing too major. Yeah, that hatchery is maybe low for the future, but that's not an immediate risk. That's not something you're immediately feeling an effect of here as Solar. It's not something you're immediately like recoiling from and be like, no, not like this. Like, you're kind of just fine right now, plain and simple. As the Hellions show up, Queens will be there. And the few Marines going to go after that Zergling for a couple more moments as the 1-1 upgrades and Stim Pack continue to build through. 1-1 upgrade, Stim Pack on the way. We have the Hellions continue to build up as well. Binaries coming as the Zerglings will get a wrap around on a few of those Zerglings, so going to get some damage done. A few of the Marines going to get caught. We actually make a decent run away, but the Lings actually do okay. They actually trade out against a lot of those Marines, and they get into the main base kind of alive still, so not bad at all. One upgrades and Stim Pack on the way by. Just going to get that hatchery placed down on the fourth base. Sorry, Hellions will continue to put some damage onto that for the moment. He's going to shoot. The few Hellions taking damage. Creep team is still going down. The left finishes up. Stim about to finish. And the 1-1 upgrades coming through on the engineering bays as well. Medevacs also in production. As barracks and an armory coming online as well. And we just have those Marines still very much so gathering together for the moment. There's still a bow combat shield coming online. We do have the Zerglings continue to nibble up at the rocks. A couple of Queens will be spreading the creep out over that right-hand side. Two upgrades, combat shield coming about. Just going to have the upgrades still building through. The roaches on the way up as well. That's taking damage. Is going to be loading back up here. The roaches make a pretty good defense of this, so for now, Solo going to push this back. He is going heavy onto the roach production. 70 drones, and now just spamming up the roaches. Roach speed about to finish. 1-1 missiles not far away. He is down on upgrades. We'll level those upgrades with the 1-1. We'll see if he maybe wants to make a bid to do something with the roaches in the 1-1 upgrades. Like I say, he's making nothing but roaches right now. It's a pretty good indicator we're going to try and get something done as the Hellbatter harass is dealt with by Zerglings. It's not going to be a bad shutdown just yet. As the, again, extra roaches coming through. The Overlord's still building for the moment. We continue on in. Roach Ravage going to hit the rocks, and so this is going to be the opening where we try and attack. Sola with a 1-0 lead over Maru, is looking to attack for a victory over the guy that is probably one of Solo's biggest nemesis. I mean, it's so difficult for Solo to beat this guy. And he's got a 70 supply lead to try and do it with right now. But he's got to do it right now because 2-2 upgrades are coming. And this is very much so designed as a one-ditched effort from Solo. There's not a lot of backing away from this and kind of waiting around for other things. Like, this is go, go, go from here on out. And continue forward. The Medivacs all set up the boost. The bunker goes down. The Marines getting chased. The siege tank going to get hit by a few biles as well. Ravage is still firing. The Marines are still shooting. Medivac's doing a bit of healing as well. I mean, honestly, we got rid of a lot of this from Solar. He is going to have Ravages left over. Maru will not turn away the final few Ravages, which means that with reinforcements arriving, Maru might be in trouble because Solar has got himself a scary army still, is what it comes down to. The fact all the Ravages live means you still have Biles already available. You don't have to morph many more in. You're going to get new Roaches here to kind of be the frontline tank units while the Ravages deal the damage from the back lines. And we have got Maru pushed into the natural. There's a couple tanks sieging there. That's what the Ravages will be great for too. But two of your barracks in trouble at the front. And as those kind of back away, you open up access to get on top of those siege tanks potentially. Corrosive Files raining down. One tank out of two goes down already. And we jump on the other tank. Good target fire. He's getting rid of Ravages specifically. The more Ravages that go down, the less Biles available. We do have 2 Biles, 3 Biles were there actually, and all 3 connect. Siege tank dead, and it's just a few Marines plus SCVs trying to make a hold, but it will not happen. And Solar is going to take Game 2 and the series to advance to the winners match of this Group A of the round of 8 of GSL. And Maru will fall to an elimination matchup here in the round of 8. Genuinely curious about Solar and Maru's history. Let me hide my screen a little bit while I look this up, just in case there's a potential rematch or something. I don't want to spoil myself. I genuinely am curious at kind of the history between these two. Like, to me, Solar is not able to win a lot against Maru. Scroll down, let's see. Well, he did beat Maru once in GSL in 2023 as well. But it doesn't happen a lot, man. It does not happen. It happened, like, overall, like, all time, sure. But it's like a 25% win rate for Solar against Maru in series. 35% in maps, which is a bit better, but it's crazy. All right. I guess we will get the ZVZ and TVT then, so we will go winners match ZVZ first with Solar versus Rogue, and then the elimination match TVT GuMiho versus Maru. So yeah. You're feeling sorry for Zergs, but they showed up big in the last few weeks? That's because the best Zergs don't typically play all the tournaments, to be honest. I feel like that's the thing more than anything. Alright, like I say, just some ads. You guys know the drill, some ads, and then we'll kick off into this next best of 3, some ZVZ. We'll go winners match first, then the TVT. And that will be how we continue some GSL replays today, guys. Again, thanks for joining us for some games. I think I'm gonna, just because we got ads playing, guys, I'm actually just gonna BRB a few moments and go get myself a drink and stuff. So I'll be right back. When we come back, we'll go Solar versus Rogue, then Maru versus GuMiho, and then it'll be a ZVT decider match after that. A few best of 3 still to come today. BRB. Alrighty guys, sorry for the additional downtime. Let's get into some ZVZ, Solar vs Rogue. As we get this underway. Ellie, I have no food. I've got nothing for you. Alright. Let's get into some ZVZ then, as we have in the bottom left-hand side. The blue Zerg player here is going to be Solar. Taking on the top left, red Zerg Rogue. Opening game of the best of 3, and as we kick this off, we get this underway. Let me see where I think we're gonna go. So just get kicked off, get ready to rumble, and get started up here. Obviously ZVZ, feisty matchup, dangerous matchup. Have your all-ins at the ready. That is typically where this match heads to, as the Overlord was about. Match pool coming up, and drones on the way. Cast as well. I mean, honestly, pretty standard for the moment, but of course, there's so many different points at which the ZVZ can take a dangerous kind of twist and turn. So we'll see what the dangerous part is going to be and which player is going to kind of advertise for it. Couple queens coming over, link speed on the way through. Just going to get the overlords coming about. The lings and the drones continue to produce for the moment, so we get that underway. As our drones continue to produce. Queens coming over, lings building, link speed on the way through. So we get a little bit of everything on the way in the early stages. Winner's match here. Winner of this gets into the round of 4. Again, huge match for Rogue. If he gets to round of 4, there's a very good chance that's good enough for him to potentially make it to EWC. It's not a guarantee, but it puts him in a very good position if he could win out. Obviously, Solar, round of 4 GSL, being a little while since he's been there, so it's an exciting one for sure. Has a couple lings. We'll chase another couple of lings around. As you have the Failing Nest. Going to go down as well. Just going to drop that into position for the moment. Lings chasing lings. Lings be coming up. The extra drones on the way through. Let's just have the hatch and the Bane Nest coming up as well. So we get the hatchery, the Bane Nest, all coming online for the moment. Ling speeds will be complete as the few Zerglings continue to go over and a couple Lings get chased. Gonna drop the creep teamer down. Just gonna see the rest of the Lings coming over. A couple Lings getting chased about the hatchery. Finishing on the third for both players. And honestly, especially for Korean ZVZ, this is a very weird game. You don't usually see Korean ZVZ where neither player really takes a super aggressive stance and they both just end up kind of droning toward a macro game. I mean, Solar's banking up a little bit of money right now. If he finishes that Roach run and just spams Roaches and attacks, I'd feel a little bit shocked, I guess, but I guess that is still the way in which this turns into a more aggressive scenario, he's going to start the Evo Chamber. Solar does like a lot of kind of no lair +1 missile upgrade attacks. But he's going to be slow on the +1 missiles, and then it would really just come down to basically his opponent not realizing there's a lair. That's how Solar's seen a lot of success recently, beat Reyno with that kind of style a few times. So yeah, definitely things to think on as the Baneling gets popped. +1 missiles and the Roachron continue to come through. The Roachling building from Solar, +1 missiles getting started up as well over there. Continue to bring that up for the moment as we get the Lings hitting the front door. Nice little shutdown, nice little pushback on that one as well. Things coming about. Queen is going to hit the Baneling as the other Baneling comes around as well. Just going to be seeing the +1 missiles on both sides. Continue to get going. The lair halfway done. The extra overlords in production. A couple of the Lings going to be able to get to and pick off that drone as just see the rest of the Roachling continue to come about. Extract is still coming through as well. As the Crypt Teamer comes over, Roaches continue to go into production. That +1 missile upgrade. Going to be finishing on both sides, but it's going to be Rogue's faster +1. I mean, Solar's going to have the lair as well. He's up a lot of drones, actually, so it's Rogue who's actually going to do kind of the Solar thing and just attack with the +1 missiles and a spam of Roaches. It's funny because, like I say, this is the kind of build that Solar's seen a lot of success with, and he might just get hit in the face with it here in the next few moments because Rogue is readying to go, and I don't know if there's going to be anything to stop him in the next few moments. Roach coming across the other side. The Banelings will continue to get moving. A couple of spines build up. Roach Bane, missiles, Roach Speed all on the way in as we get ourselves ready here. The extra Banelings gathering in together. The Roach is coming down the right side in a big way. Again, those additional Lings and the Ravages building up also. A few Spine Crawls also continue to produce right there as the army gets set to go. One Baneling goes down already. The rest of the Bane's gathering. It's a lot of units from Rogue. This is what it's all about, hitting while you have that advantage. Obviously, the upgrades are going to be even here. Is that good enough, or do we need perhaps more? Rogue at the moment held off. Roach Speed finishing soon from Solar. Has a Spine Crawl behind that wall. Still has the 25 army supply lead, does Rogue, but needs to make use of it. Dives on the Spine. What's interesting is Solar having a few Banes definitely can be efficient army supply in comparison to his opponent right now, so that's one more thing to kind of keep an eye on here. Burst of Biles are nice, but we are going to start getting on top of some of the Ravages, and those are exposed now, which means that they are taken down easily and quickly. I just feel I don't think it's going to be enough for Solar overall in the end anyway, so looking a little bit rough as the Roaches of Rogue are still in very good numbers, and as Solar's reinforcements pour in, they're pouring into an outnumbered scenario, unfortunately, so they're just not able to retake control of this at all. The Spine Claw is getting burrowed up, and that's going to be GG's. Rogue is indeed going to have enough to successfully all-in his way to a 1-0 lead in this best of 3. So Rogue gets off to a strong start. We'll get into our second game here on Incorporeal. And yeah, Rogue off to a 1-0 lead. What a great position to be in, man. First place out of this group would be pretty crazy for Rogue. He's been playing well lately. I've actually really been enjoying watching Rogue play, but like, he's still been shaky. I think ZVP is his weakest matchup. But, yeah, it'd be kind of crazy. Come through GuMiho, come through Solar. First place in your GSL group. Be awesome to see. And in the bottom right-hand side, the blue Zerg player is going to be Solar. Top left out the game, the red Zerg player Rogue. Huge opportunity here to get into the semi-finals of the GSL. Just needs one map win. Problem is, if you lose this, there's a very good chance you have to play Maru in the decided match. If Maru comes through GuMiho, Maru, once upon a time, the best TVTer in the world. I'm not sure if that's still the case necessarily right now. But, you know, there's a very real chance you see him there, right? So, definitely, You know, grab hold of this opportunity, take hold of it now, and then go from there. I think is maybe the 100% approach right now in this match. Don't leave anything on the table. Well, Hatch, Gas, and Pool taking on the Hatch. Pool from Solar. Gas is going to be the delayed option from him. So a little bit of intrigue there. Four drones is going to get building. And the hatchery still coming through. The overlords will gather. Or drones popping out in the near future as well. Just get a good amount of this up and settled. There's a couple queens. Start up as well. Queens coming in on either side. Drones in production. Lings coming through. The ling speed will start. The lings still moving around. We just have ourselves the lings speed coming online for the moment. Queen's building, drones on the way. We have one ling taking some more damage. Again, a shot or two off. A few shots coming through. And ling speed is about to complete. Evo chamber coming around, drones coming in, lings building. You see the game developing in a fun way. Solo playing kind of gasless for a long time here. Means that he's going to have no ling speed. That means as Rogue, you can get a faster third hatchery up and really kind of keep the pressure on because Solo will have no way to defend his third until Roach's out. So as Rogue, you take the faster third. He's going to go Carapace upgrade as well here and then just see what we can do with this over the next little bit. Roachron about halfway done. Hatchery still coming through. Drones and the Queen coming up and online as well. As we just have +1 missile upgrade building from Solus that continue to get that on into play. The Rotron and Evo Chamber still building up. The lair coming online. Drones producing. Again, Roachling Carapace still building up. Roach speed, the missiles continuing through Roach. And that Overseer continue to come online for the moment. Carapace will be completing. Ravages on the way through. Just going to see the feelings gathering about. Gets cancelled. A few Roaches are pulling back to the other side. 10+1 missiles, Roach speed coming through. The Lings and a Ravager coming up. A Spinecrawler going to finish very shortly as well. The rest of that Roach Ravager continuing on into play. Corrosive Vials going in toward that Overlord. Again, a few more shots. Again, a little dangerous. A couple of Ravagers gathering up. We do see our Roach run continuing through. +1 missiles and Roach speed all building. Corrosive Vials is going to hit the Roach run. Lings will hit. A couple of biles going to go towards those roaches once again. They're just going to have to step back. The roach roaring here going to take a few shots of damage. Is going to get biled down, and the roach roaring is indeed going to fall. Evolution Chamber now taking some hits. The roaches and the Ravagers stepping up. The Lings get turned the other way. A few more corrosive biles coming into place, and that Evolution Chamber is once again knocked down and removed from the equation very quickly and swiftly. Good starting point. Rogue sending it right now, pushing into this natural expansion, looking for a wraparound on this army. Spine Crawler is still there and actually doing some okay-ish damage, taking a lot of the attention of the Lings, allowing the Roach Ravager of Solar to live in good numbers, and that is a defense made. Ravagers going down as we get chased away, and Rogue gets pushed back. That Carapace attack timing not coming through for anything. His lair following up. Solar has a lair but does not start Roach Speed yet. As we go into drones from here, Solar might find himself the chance to get Roach Speed started and still take maybe a bit of an edge on that. It's interesting because Rogue will take an upgrade lead in the game with 1-1 to 1-0 for a while. But once Solar hits +2, that's going to be a better combination of 2 upgrades than the 1-1 missiles and Carapace. So there is that to keep in mind. Solar has the army supply, Solar has similar economy, Solar has eventually better upgrades too. What's interesting is he's going to be on later on the... Oh, sorry, he already has Roach Speed. I'm so blind. My apologies. He already has Roach Speed as well. So, yeah, he really has actually right now just a lot of mobility on the map. The thing is, you can't be out of position really here as Solar. Well, you can be out of position, but you can't get caught in a bad fight in a way because with Roach Speed, you will always just be able to outrun your opponent's army away, and your opponent has to be super careful because if they take a fight and it's a wrong fight, they can't run away. You know, you can always chase. So Solar takes advantage of this, being on the map, corrosive biling away, add a few bits and pieces, putting some work in. And plus 2 missiles coming about, the Overlord's coming through, hatchery still building, 8 more roaches coming up, 9 more roaches coming up from Rogue currently, make it 10. A couple of Ravagers added on as well, so we get all of that coming through. And the Lings here going to head down to the south side of the map. Hatchery is about to finish up. The Lings with the wrap around there. Going to get rid of the Queen, going to go for the hatch. Could be a good opportunity for Rogue to take an advantage in this game. Getting rid of the hatchery could put Solar into a weird place. Only 2 bases to work from. I mean, does Solar kind of have to go right now? Investing into Burrow and Tunneling Claws kind of suggests he's in it for the longer game, but that's going to be rough on the back of a dead hatchery, right? So, he is pushing to the other side. We'll see if he wants to go all the way across and really commit to it, or just in general see what his plan may become here. 2 roaches again on top of those Lings. They get chased away. Plus 2 missiles, a Burrow upgrade coming through as well. That's such a frustrating moment for Solar because it felt like this game was really turned in his favor. Now without the hatchery, he's not going to lose all of his advantages, but it definitely is a bit of a stunter because you lose so much production value off that hatchery as well. And that means you just have less units to work with, and that makes it a little bit scary to really commit to anything that might be potentially for you kind of the deal breaker, right? Like that if you felt like you had an attack timing, now you're going to have to do that attack timing with significantly less units potentially, so it's not exactly ideal as the Roach Ravager collects. 2 Lings coming around, the Ravager's going to get jumped on. Oh, that was a disappointing fight from Rogue. He just attacked into better up. I have no idea what Rogue was thinking. Why would you attack right here, Rogue? What inspired you? You killed the 3rd hatch. You haven't really let the fact that that 3rd hatchery is dead settle in yet, and you take a fight. I mean, I guess just the fact he felt like he was so committed he had to fight, but like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, the position was bad for Rogue. Just, so he decided to fight rather than to try and play out. But maybe he should have, upon killing the hatch. I think upon killing the hatch, he was scared of a counterattack, so he built units. I think if he killed the hatch and droned a bit, he might have actually been able to play the game. Because then he could have stayed defensive as well when Solar did get on the map. Kind of an interesting kind of conclusion, because like I say, I was not really expecting Rogue to attack in, but I can understand why he did it. Like, you can not expect something to happen, or on the surface it maybe doesn't make sense, but like in the scenario of the game, it did kind of make sense, right? It did kind of add up a little bit as to, you know, why you would do that, so understandable. As we'll get ourselves ready for Game 3 on Leyline, so an important 3rd map because the winner of this goes to the round of 4, the semi-finals of the GSL. Let's jump into it. I don't think we have any reason to wait around. Let's get into the ZVZ Game 3 and see what Leylines brings us in this matchup as we get started up. In the top right-hand side, our red Zerg player is going to be Rogue. Taking on the blue Zerg. In the bottom left-hand side of Leylines, we have got Solar. Well, Rogue has brought the aggression in a couple of games straight so far. Cool, first out of Rogue. So 12 pulling it up. He's going to get aggressive. We'll drop the hatch down. It's not any kind of crazy drone pull, but wants to put the pressure in here on Leylines early. Try and take a lead early and run with that. Seems to be the game plan right now. Killings coming through, hatch coming up, hatch gas and spawning pool on the way in. Hatch and a couple of drones coming up as well. Obviously, we've got the Ling's going to start going across the map. We actually do get gas now, so Ling speed is going to start up as well, so we will have that Ling speed building. Spawning pool coming about, evolution chamber coming through, the hatchery on the way in as well. Just gonna see the drone and a couple of queens building through also. Early upgrade will get started. Queens on the way out, the drones are building through. Link speed is about to finish. So we get that link speed completed in Rogue. Solar together. Will be about a clash because, like I said, we're going to have... It's so wild. Rogue's about to build a third hatchery, and yet he's got Ling speed Lings on the map already. Solar, meanwhile, does not go Ling speed at first because he goes melee upgrade to try and go into Lings later. I mean, I'm not sure how well that's going to go because it's going to be revealed, right? So you're going to get figured out pretty quickly. I mean, Solar's just not expecting this, obviously, and Rogue shows up. He's going to grab himself a queen. He's going to hit the hatchery. I mean, Rogue's going to realize the opportunity maybe in the main base. He thought about going in. He's like, no, you know what? I actually may just get the hatchery here, and I think he will. Hatchery going to go down. Is he going to regret not going into the main? I think it's hard to regret not going in the main when you kill a hatchery, but he's only on 10 drones. So maybe the main base was the target. Maybe a hatchery is kind of okay for Solar to lose. It sounds crazy, but maybe it is. Fight starts up. Obviously, hold position drones do derp the AI of the Lings a little bit. You kind of need to hold some of these queens and maybe the spine coming up as well as Solar tries to get the defense. Well, the Lings continue to nibble away. 6 workers going down so far. Solar 23 to 18 supply. He's got no army, but with another spine finishing up, that may be okay. The problem is, again, no hatchery low ground. That does cost you 300 minerals. That's 275. It's like 5.5 drones that Rogue gets while you invest into a hatchery. So that does catch Rogue up a lot of the way on the drone count. And Rogue, because he still has some Lings there, I mean, this is rough because Solar right now has no queen either. So without a queen left over, that's another bunch of money he has to spend. I mean, this, I think, actually gets into Rogue just in a serious lead territory because he's going to have the hatchery coming up. Well, hatchery done. He's got injects as well. He can just drone. He's got control. He sees everything Solar's building. So it's not like Solar can come up with some surprise and like, ha-pa! You know, because Rogue's literally camping his main base. He sees every unit that spawns. We do have the Baneling Nest, and a couple of Banes finish morphing, and maybe with those Solar can force his way back to the low ground and out to an expansion once more. The Lings wanted to try and grab the drone, but it's escorted nicely by the Baneling. The Baneling escort is very nice as the Ling Bane gathers back together again. Entry going down. Drops that straight into place. Carapace and the Hatch continue to build. All Queens going through, the Overlord coming up. That single Zergling trying to aim for the Baneling. Not quite going to be able to do too much just yet. Things gathering, a couple Banes joining up. Queen going to sit there. Carapace upgrade continuing through. I'm just going to be seeing the Queen coming about. The Carapace upgrade still very much so on the way in right now. Once you get the Hatch, the Drone, the Overlord all building through. Feelings is going to want to go after the Zergling. I'm going to drop another Evo Chamber at the front, so Roachron and Evo together will come on in as the drones continue to produce. Bane pushing out the front. The hatchery is about to finish. Going to get another hatch started. Solar realizes the need to try and play catch up in this game, but he's a few drones behind. He's significantly behind on tech. I mean, he's going to get a Carapace upgrade here off the Evo Chamber. Obviously, he cancelled that melee upgrade he was going for originally. So he's going to get Carapace as an advantage, and that's going to be about it. He's a long way off really seeing any kind of significant roach count in this game for himself, though. For Solar, this is going to be pretty much all about the Lings, which is not exactly ideal, to be quite frank about it. Not exactly going to be ideal. Feelings gathering up. Just going to be seeing a Feelings getting in there. Queen going to fire up. Feelings taking damage. SL upgrade continuing through on both sides. I mean, Solo getting in, getting a Queen. I mean, it's the kind of harass that he needs. It's not going to cost him a lot. It's going to be a little bit effective, right? These are the sort of things that Solo can do well with as he tries to slow his opponent down as best as possible at the moment. He's going to get turned away once more. A couple drones still coming up. And +1 missile star and Roach be coming in. As Rogue will try and take that tech advantage, maybe, and then try and run with that. I mean, honestly, the game is evened out in a big way compared to where we were at originally. Kind of surprised that it's come so far, honestly. He's going to shoot. Overseer will take a few shots of damage. He's still going to fire. Overseer taking a few more hits. And get pushed around. Wardy, any particular reason you like arrows displaying income advantage over real numbers? I don't. I don't like this UI at all, but this UI basically got forced upon us as the regular UI to use, so... I used to use the other game, Hot One. I used to think that was a much better UI. You know what I hate about this UI is that the, well, actually, no, this UI did improve one of my greatest crimes. The UI that they used previously, the upgrades used to rotate with the APM. I used to hate that. When you wanted to, like, glance at the upgrades and you couldn't see them because the freaking APM is there, of all things. Yeah, that's why I eventually did change. But yeah, the numbers, I think, are actually very busy. It keeps very, the screen's very busy. And honestly, for 90% of people, seeing 3 arrows in one direction instead of just, like, means just as much as the numbers mean, So yeah. I don't know, I don't actually have the file to load the numbers UI. I think personally I like that better, but I think for the majority of viewers, a few arrows are better and it clutters less of the screen. Like, it's weird, because StarCraft 2 is such an information game, especially watching it is such an information game, but I think of that from my point of view. I've casted thousands of games, right? I think a lot of people who just watch a lot more casually don't need to see every number. They don't need to see every little thing, you know? So, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a preference. This was just the one that became normalized, and it's the one that that I've just used for a while since then because of that. You wish Wardy would notice me? Hello, feel noticed. There's plenty of time for noticing people during ZVZs. Everything. Especially a moment like it's kind of weird though. This game's been, I really felt like Rogue was significantly further ahead than what he obviously is now. Like, what is Rogue's advantage? He's gonna have burrow and tunneling claws. That's kind of about it, right? Like, upgrades are about the same. Yeah, he's got some dropper lords already moving around the map. He used to be an arrow hater because he wanted to know how much a player is ahead. Well, the arrows mean, like, each arrow indicates 250. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean much once it's, like, more than 750, right? But you can get a rough guesstimate. 1 arrow is basically, like, doesn't really matter. 2 hours is like, okay. 3 hours is like, oh shit, they're mining way more. I think it's a very interesting thing. It's definitely done for, like I said, ease of reading or readability, but yeah. You know, I wonder if it'd be better if it was just like. I actually wouldn't mind if there was a 4th arrow to mean like even higher. I was thinking, what if in the middle you just had like plus a number, and that number is the color of the player as well? But it probably gets messy if it flashes back and forth a lot. Yeah. Rogue is just attacking in. I mean, I felt like Rogue had an advantage in this game. Let's see if he does. He's had dropper lords to try and set up the position and give him a better fight here. We take a little bit of this engagement already. This fight's going well for Rogue. Well, in the sense of just, if he's still here trading, it's kind of just fine. But I mean, that's equal on drones, so few reinforcements show up for Rogue actually, and he's going to get a little bit of an edge in that Roach fight now. Both players have had Roaches dealing damage on other sides of the map, so. Yeah, guys, the arrows point at whoever is mining more. Each arrow means they are mining 250 of that resource more than their opponent. So if there's no arrows, they're mining about the same. If there's 1 arrow, it's 250 resources or more. If it's 2 arrows, it's 500. 2 arrows, 750 per minute. Rogue's just gonna win. You know, this makes sense to me in terms of like the game that I watch, but I feel like a lot of the numbers leading up to this point made this seem a lot closer than it kind of felt here, because in the end, Rogue just attacked and really was comfortable enough to win. But, yeah, he really did just attack and found himself in a comfortable enough position to win. It just felt like the game got a lot closer than that initially suggested it was going to be. So, an interesting one. Gonna go watch some of the VODs? Hell yeah, have a good time. See you later. Jimbako asked during the game, did I watch Halston's proposed balance changes video? Sorry, I did not just ignore your question. Well, I did ignore it at the time, but I didn't mean to come back to it. Just the game started to get interesting or exciting again. No. No, I didn't watch it at all. I didn't watch it at all. So yeah. I don't really like looking at like content which is like, hey, I think these balance changes would be cool. It just doesn't interest me. I don't like theory crafting. I don't like theorizing or like making stuff up, or like this could be like, if this was like a patch that was going to be implemented, I'd look into it. And even then, even honestly, a lot of the time when patch notes are released and it's like, we might change a lot of stuff in this patch, like, I don't care. I really just like knowing what's going to change, and when that changes, then I really get interested in learning it and the ins and outs of it. I really hate putting time into learning something which has the potential to like be switched up, you know, and changed again. So, yeah. It's better to not watch it. Wow. Players are biased. Players are biased, but that doesn't mean that you can't have good suggestions as a player still. You know? You dislike the Baneling change? What's the Baneling change suggestion? Let me guess. Banelings get plus 5 HP. According to Hearthstone, TVP is a balanced matchup. It is plus 5 HP. Whoa, never heard of that one. The thing with TVP is that the way TVP plays right now makes it feel as though what typically happens in TVP, and that's happened before, is that we go through this phase of Terrans feeling like they must all in, right? And then what happens is because the pros start to play safer and safer builds, these all-ins are less effective. The safeness of those builds let the Terran play more macro-focused games again. Which, honestly, I feel like the last month has been pretty bad for the 2-base all-ins, which almost makes me feel like we're going to start seeing maybe some more macro TVP coming soon. So yeah. Remember the community trashed the NG overcharge change? Yeah, I love this. Everyone was like, this is the worst change, Protoss is dead! It literally made every matchup better for them. Yeah. That's why you don't listen to the community, guys. Sorry. Terrans view 2-base all-ins as a macro build? Aye. What's up, Laurent Nagy? Thank you so much for the Prime sub coming in for 3 months. Appreciate the support. Thank you for subbing today. Thank you. Let's get started with this GuMiho versus Maru series, guys. Let's get this underway in the elimination match. Rogue going into the round of 4 in first place is huge, by the way. That means he's potentially going to get a good opponent in the round of 4, and it puts him in a great position to potentially qualify for EWC, which would be really sick. In the bottom left, our blue Terran player is going to be GuMiho. Up against the red Terran in the top right in this elimination matchup. He doesn't find himself in a lot of these in the GSL. It is Maru. Fake news, Protoss mirror matchup didn't get better for Protoss. It did. Because now people can actually beat MaxPax. MaxPax was so resilient beforehand. His build was so well thought out. He could defend everything. He loses way more frequently now trying to do the same thing. Boom. People's win rates went up against MaxPax, so overall for the Protoss race, that was a buff. There we go. How about that for some info? Proxy Barracks from GuMiho. He's looking to get off to an aggressive start here in this elimination matchup. Game 1 on Ultra Love. 2 Barracks proxying. Probably just Reapers. We've got a single gas at home. Uh-oh. Maru scouting. Instantly finds the double proxy racks. That's huge. You see it so early on that you can A, harass, and B, you can start your second gas now. You can start to adjust your build to really deal with this. You can see Maru's got 400 minerals. That's now not going to go into, he's not going to keep saving up for the command center. Instead, you can start investing into the bunker. He had 400 minerals. He started to start the orbital, so ignore that part of my statement. But he can start the bunker instead, and he can just, like I say, rally resources into that sort of stuff. Second gas would be nice. Even just kind of, save up some gas for the factory as well, potentially, although that would mean cutting Reapers. We'll see what he wants to do. He has quite a few minerals. I'm surprised he doesn't start gas too, because that feels like you're still going to be very mineral heavy. I don't know if you really want to stay mineral heavy in this situation, to be honest. What's up, Snuggle Bunny 74? Thank you so much for the 6-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for resubscribing. As I said on a Prime sub, don't be an anti-StarCraft person, support StarCraft eSports today, is your prime. I don't know why I was going with that. I was like, I don't actually have any bad things to say about people watching the stream. I was like, yeah, don't be an anti-StarCraft though, yeah, because that makes sense. And we are going to see Reaper's being deflected pretty well so far by Maru. Pretty good defense up until now. Got low with his own Reaper, but was able to get it into the bunker, into safety. And so that will live. Moving on from here as the few Reapers going to come back up this ramp. Going to hit that depot for a few moments. And just apply a little bit of pressure for the moment. So again, some reasonable damage being done initially. Just going to see that depot is taking some heavy shots. It's going to go down. It's a supply block for Maru even. So supply block, finds themselves supply blocked here. Reapers and the Marines still stepping forward. Hellion coming through as well. What's up? I has Burrito. 42-month resub, no prime, just hard-earned natural subbies. You know what? We'll accept those ones too. Thank you so much for supporting and subbing today. Appreciate it. Not using your prime is not a crime, as long as you sub otherwise. Another famous saying about Twitch primes. It's funny how many of those they made, isn't it? Couple of Reapers. I'm going to be trying to step up this ramp as we just have the barracks heading into the main base. Backfield accelerator from GuMiho on the follow-up. He didn't really do too much. Maru's defense was pretty darn solid overall. He's got a command center up in the main as well now. GuMiho building his CC on the low ground, but will be later. So honestly, I kind of like where this went for Maru in these early stages. Like I say, it feels like a pretty darn reasonable defense. Puts him in a pretty decent position. Let's see that orbital command lifting up. Going to float across over toward the natural here. The drilling, Magfield Accelerator continues to produce through. Cyclone on the way, Starport and the command center coming up. Add that orbital on as well. Kind of excited for the Magfield to finish and to see how exactly GuMiho tries to use these Cyclones. And get the Interference Matrix upgrade so you can get the Ravens to their full potential as well as he begins to build those numbers up. Step through, Cyclone helping with the lock on, the few Reapers going a grenade. Marines getting blasted, Hellions getting blasted. As a few step through, Cyclone still locking onto the barracks for a few moments. Barracks getting pushed away out into the center. Again, that Magfield Accelerator still coming online. Going to finish up very soon. Raven coming by as well. Continue to bring that up. CC finishing very shortly. This barracks is burning as the Reapers and the Cyclone continue to gather. The Raven coming out overhead over in the natural. And this one is just Ravens versus Ravens again built up. Maru on his way to his third. GuMiho on his way to his second. See if GuMiho stops at 2 or wants to keep the starport busy for a third Raven. 3 is typically the cutoff point if you go beyond 2. Like, if you don't go 2, you go 3 typically. More than that's kind of interesting because then you have this kind of interesting scenario where if you keep building Ravens, it really eats into a lot of your other setups and other things you're going to build into. Oh, wow. Mech versus Mech is coming up. My goodness. Well, you actually don't see Mech versus Mech a lot in TVT. Mech is not an oddity in TVT, but it's obviously not the common way to play. So it's very rare you see Mech versus Mech. Oh wow, we could get quite a stalematey, slow-moving game here. Guess we'll see how that turns out as the few Marines, the Ravens, the tanks step forward a little bit right now. Cyclone locking on, Ravens get turned the other way. Continue to get settled down for the moment. What's up, Cronan AW? Thank you so much for the Prime sub, by the way. Appreciate it. Is this barracks floating over that right side? The orbital wants to try and come and take position here. And Trigger with the raid. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hope you're doing great. You guys are having a great day. We are covering some GSL replays. This was Group A played yesterday of the round of 8. This is an elimination match. So, hello, welcome. This is my first time seeing the games. Please no spoilers. I will ban you. Plain and simple. Welcome, and thank you so much for the raid. As Factory going to swap off onto the reactor. The barracks going to move over to the side and give a little bit of space The factory get that reactor down. The Ravens come through. They're going to start auto-turreting. SCVs will begin to drop off. A couple more armories getting delayed there, so the upgrade's potentially delayed a little bit right now. As we continue to see tanks and Hellions producing on forward. Command center is set up over in the corner. And that Cyclone still chipping away at the barracks. We do hit a nice interference matrix. The siege tank getting caught. Auto turret's able to fight back a little bit, and we just have Mac Field Accelerators still coming through from Maru. So that's an interesting thing, kind of the order in which they've gone into things. GuMiho got Mac Field so quickly, and a lot more Cyclones early. Maru did not go into that, but is going to go into it as a response now, and so we'll start to match some of the Cyclones with Cyclones of his own. Cyclone's still doing okay, using those auto interference matrices to get into range and to actually get the Cyclones into quite a viable position. Raven's still going to sit there. Siege tank's still taking some damage. You're going to see the Raven still coming about. Alien tank still building through. Battle pre-ignited that blue flame on the way up as well currently, so we continue to bring that into play. This is... I mean, it's been good harassment from GuMiho, taking advantage of having Magfield a little earlier. Interesting to see if he keep that up now that Magfield finishes from Maru, and he'll have a little bit more mobility in his own army. Establishing his fourth base, so is GuMiho. It's been a bit easier for GuMiho to do so because he's had map control. Map control obviously is always important in most matchups of StarCraft 2, but God, is it so important in TVT. It just gives you so much opportunity and so much potential compared to typical expectations as these tanks, other units get toward the center. +1 vehicle weapons, +1 vehicle plating, continuing through the Raven. About to finish up still from Maru, and we do have ourselves the units on the right side, just going to back away and move down for the moment. Back's going to unload into the back, a few siege tanks going to drop straight in, and there's going to be a bunch of SCVs getting pushed away immediately, so SCVs getting pushed back and out of there. Good matrices. Cyclone's going to lock on. The Hellion Cyclone going to be able to stand there and be pretty solid for the moment. The rest of these tanks still pushing up. All those Hellbats going to drop in on top of those siege tanks as well. Raven's still auto-turreting. Man, Maru's been so auto-turret heavy. He has had a lot of Ravens. He's been continuously building them and really relying on those Ravens and their auto-turrets to try and really push back some of these positions. Not currently mining from his natural with a couple of tanks that have slipped in the back there, so that is a big issue that we will get rid of now, but again, GuMiho with the map control is the one that's able to find openings and find opportunities to get damage done. That really has been the story of this so far, and now, I mean, that medevac picking off a siege tank on the other side as well. GuMiho are doing a great job of identifying openings and weaknesses in this position of Maru and really looking to expose and take full advantage of those scenarios. Tanks continue to fire back up that ramp, and we do see Maru looking to try and just slowly close in on the rest of this army as well. 2-2 upgrades coming up versus the 1-1. Vikings will just patrol for the moment. The Raven's still coming about. And we have ourselves a couple more factories on the way, and just GuMiho continue to produce behind this. 5th base coming in for him, doing all the correct things with map control. The awkward thing for Maru is this is not kind of, you know, if this was Bio, he could like do a mass lift up and get onto the map and then, you know, really threaten GuMiho for staying in this position. But because it's mech, he can't really do that same thing. He doesn't have enough units on the 3rd to just unsiege and waltz across the map either. And right now you can see the Hellbats allowing you to just kind of bully your way in. He out-cyclones his opponent here, which means that plain up and plain and simple, you're just going to kill things right now. And GuMiho has taken full advantage of Maru's third base, out-meching him here in the opening game of this elimination matchup. Maru about to be 0-3 in the group in this round of 8. 33. Dead SCV is going to move up to 36. The Vikings still firing. Orbital taking damage. Siege tanks will unsiege. Consider what they would like to do next. Matrix is going down. A bunch of those tanks taking damage. We're going to step on forward. Tanks are going to get sieged. Hellbats and tanks continue to press through. The Vikings are going to be right there to try and join in the fray. Another Matrix on the siege tank as we continue to hit hard for the moment. Cyclones will step forward. The Hellbats will come through. Just going to see the rest of those siege tanks continuing to get set up as Vikings, Cyclones, and tanks continue to gather in together. Another couple of shots. The Cyclones still getting hit by those. Maru just has 100 supply left, and that's really not enough. No third, no fourth. GuMiho did a fantastic job of just getting into position and really abusing the position. And he really identified just the way, I actually really loved what he did with identifying moments he could just step into the base and just really kind of push the fight in his favor. He really did a lot of that in a lot of good ways, so I think GuMiho played a very solid series here, to be honest. Very solid first game, opening game of the series. I wonder if Maru will try and mech it up again. I wonder if GuMiho is more confident mech versus mech as well. It's actually a very interesting question. It's not something I could really answer for you. We do not see a lot of mech versus mech in TVT. It really is a bit of a rarity. They're just cranking out units as GuMiho just spends, and also just trades. He's mining so much more. As long as he keeps trading, even slightly inefficiently right now, is fine for GuMiho. Never let Maru build up an army, and you're going to remain in a very strong spot. As a few Hellions get some SCVs, tanks here already trading not well for Maru as he tries to siege them up. They're already taking big hits and big losses. I mean, this is what I mean. Like, Maru just has to go, but you're going into someone who has so much production. These tanks are in a very sad state of affairs as they just try and do something. There's just no real way, though, and GuMiho will take the opening map of the TVT, as mentioned, and will take the 1-0 lead. So GuMiho off to a strong start in the BO3 with a game 2 coming up in just a second. We'll hop into that right now. So we'll just go, and sneak our way into a game 2. One of those moments where actually casting from replay is going to benefit us, and we can go straight into Tokamak for a second game of this best of 3. In the bottom left-hand side, the blue Terran player is going to be GuMiho, and he is going to find himself with the 1-0 lead in this elimination match. That's huge for him because, again, he is fighting for an EWC seed if he can have a good showing in this GSL. Still needs to lock that up for himself. In the top right, our red Terran player Maru. We're not used to seeing him falter, but yeah, it was actually GSL Season 1 this year as well, where he had a good round of 12, and then his round of 8 was a bit of a disaster, right? He actually lost to GuMiho playing Protoss in the round of 8, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe this is why. His DVT not up to scratch compared to what it used to be. That's going to be another shocking exit for Maru. Wow, GSL 2025, no Maru playoff appearances. Crazy possibility. Barracks again from GuMiho, who will open with a proxy once more. The proxy didn't do too much for him last game, to be honest, and so it shouldn't have done because obviously we got a good scouting in initially. Couple of racks still building up. Reaper on the way, orbital coming through, gets settled for a couple of moments. Just a couple of Reapers continue to come through. Factory is building up. And Maru, unfortunately for him, is this game playing the no scout. Just scouts is natural, but that's also kind of okay because he's going double gas this game. Last game he was looking to one gas expand, hence the SCV scout. This game he's just going to scout with the Reaper. What is unfortunate is if this Reaper does not see the barracks still, and then you do not know that this is coming. It allows GuMiho to stack 2 Reapers and attack with both at the same time, and then you don't know it's coming. You might be out of position. Command Center on the low ground, for example, is a mineral waste. Maru is going to see it. Instant reaction. Grenade hits one of the Reapers, but he did take double volley at first. Try and put some pressure in here as an easy pick to SCV right there, as it's low HP already. Oh, we get the Reaper. That's not good. Second Reaper in trouble as the grenade doesn't hit it, but it actually, we can chase this around the corner. The thing is, getting rid of the Reaper here, 1 for 2, is fine for GuMiho because he's going to have 2 Reapers building up in reinforcement. And if you can get the Reaper advantage in your favor, you can take on the Hellions that are coming through from Maru as well. Cancels the CC. That's kind of a guarantee in this scenario unless we continue to dive the main base only. Hellion there. 3 Reapers are enough to fight that, but you do need to be in position and kind of get up a ramp or so and kind of play on level field. And with the SCVs pulling nicely, it's actually been a pretty good continued defense from Maru. From a pretty terrible position, he's actually going to draw this back a little bit and get a good defense with that one Hellion, getting some good shots off and helping to play cleanup. So that's a major part of this, as Maru will, now with 2 Hellions, look to be a bit more aggressive onto those Reapers, push those a bit further back. And I think Maru is going to be out of trouble here in the end. Hellion still building, medevac on the way. Starport coming through, Command Center on the way out. As you can see in the Hellions and Marine gathering as the factory moves over toward the natural. Sorry, not the natural, the add-on. Natural is coming up from GuMiho though. On location as well, this time the CCs are similarly timed, but GuMiho is on position, which is obviously going to speed things up for him, so that's a major positive as well. Cyclone's building, Raven on the way. Marine's still nibbling up at the barracks. CC's coming through. I'm just going to see all the command centers coming online for the moment. We are going to have the barracks pushed down that right side just for the moment. So barracks pushed away. Another CC building as GuMiho takes advantage of what is, again, a bit of map control for him. Going to go triple CC. It's not uncommon in the TVT. You can see that Maru is doing the exact same thing. Triple CC, get that economy rolling off the 1-1-1. And then we'll start to see gases on the natural, question mark. Do we try and play mech, or are we going to play a little bit of marine tank? Those are really the questions that remain for us at the moment. So I'm going to get into that over the next few minutes as the, again, medics coming through, Ravens on the way up. Continue to get this all underway for the moment. That Matrix really is just building on the Raven. On the tech lab, getting those Ravens ready. Medevac down to the bottom left. Reaper is just going to come through. Medevac will see said Reaper moving about for the moment here. Second's got the lock on, chase that away. We'll see how quickly we go into Mac field as well, if this is going to be Mac. Both players on 4 gases right now. The engineering bays are there for Maru, so he will start up the 1-1 upgrades. That's going to be the difference in this game. There's 2 barracks from GuMiho, but that was obviously 2 barracks off the initial proxy, so it's not a guarantee that it's going to be bio, but there are the engineering bays from him. So Maru's going to take actually an upgrade lead here in the end. Extra couple of barracks building up for him. Worker count slightly GuMiho favored. That's sort of some advantages here, advantages there. I think enough of this so far is good enough to kind of say that this is a fairly even game. I feel like Maru is kind of bored of playing. It's not the same Maru anymore. I think Maru is genuinely struggled with his shoulder. I mean, if his shoulder is serious enough for him to get discharged from the military, I think it's pretty fair to say that it probably has a pretty sizable impact on him playing StarCraft, you know? So Raven's going over that right-hand side. The barracks still coming up. 1-1 upgrade, Stimpack coming through. We do have the missile turrets building as well, so continue to get that going as We have GuMiho heading toward the upper right-hand side. The tank's going to join up. We get rid of that Reaper already as well. Going to grab that. Again, a couple of siege tanks get themselves in position. The Cyclone isn't in position. The Ravens get pushed away the other side. And GuMiho looking to press the issue a little bit. It's such an odd army, right? There's a selection of tanks and the Cyclone. It's different if you're playing mech and some of those upgrades have better units have better upgrades, but in this scenario, it definitely feels like a weird little combination of units to be stepping out onto the map. Hey, what's up, Nipper de Lagash? Thank you so much for the 22-month resub. Shit, thank you so much. As the armory continues up on both sides, this Stimpaks will be finishing 1-1 upgrades on the engineering base, finishing up shortly. Combat shield coming through as well. That Raven's still moving about. We have ourselves the rest of this army still stepping across to the other side of the map here, so continue to make a move. Raven gonna drop one order turret. Just the one for the moment, apparently, and that's all we're gonna go for. The rest of these Marines and Cyclones gathering up. 2-2 upgrades on the way through as well. The Hellion gonna go poking away at the SCV. As we do have a bit of Marine tank army starting to move out onto the map. A few Marines going to go after the Hellion as well. Korean Jesus at the 2-month resub on the Prime. Thank you so much as well for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. As the tanks and the Marines settle. The Marines are going to try and stem forward. Tanks will siege. Let's get turned away. 2-2 upgrades and the combat shield continue to come up. Marine tank still producing on in. It's going to get awkward. We're base trading. GuMiho has the edge on the base trade. He's just there on the third base sooner. And if he realizes what's up, he might have the quicker move toward the main base, which is obviously everything comes down to just going ASAP in these sort of scenarios. Gets the Matrix off a bunch of order turrets here as we try and chase the initial units down. So yeah, he's not slow on diving in toward the main. He's there so quickly as Maru is just now starting to wander into the natural, so the difference in kind of time of attack is very noticeable. I mean, this is already a 50-60 supply difference. I mean, GuMiho genuinely has a lot of units in the main, just anti-arm missile isn't great to fight with. I mean, there was an argument to be had about fighting with the Concave on the high ground, but the tanks were in range as well. One turret's going down as GuMiho will just still be okay with, I think, an advantageous position. Maru lost every SCV already. Doesn't save a single one. That does not exactly bode well for you as GuMiho's tank gets Matrix. He will just try and hold with anything. Any unit you get rid of on this side of the map is a win for you. Any unit you take down is going to benefit you in a big way, as GuMiho can always lift up his third base and float it across the map and run SCVs. Maru will be forced to fight into GuMiho if that orbital gets in position somewhere and tanks get set up around it, because you just can't afford to you just can't afford to let your opponent mine when you have literally zero mining. Maybe you have an orbital that will land some mules, but that's not really comparable. Oh, we find the engineering base in the corner here, researching 2-2. Denies the +2 armor. Can we go for the +2 attack? GuMiho's not watching. +2 finishes for GuMiho as well. And the +2 attack gets denied also. So Maru is also going to be down on the upgrades when it comes to the fight. Nothing has gone his way in this TVT at all. Okay. I think GuMiho is just going to get a win. I'm trying to look. How do you win this as Maru? I mean, you just take a very good fight. Unlikely. I mean, 3 Ravens to 2, but he's got 10 Marines to 26. Less tanks, and GuMiho can just play defensive. He knows Maru must attack into him because he knows he has potential mining on the way with this orbital coming over and SCVs that have been saved. Anti-arm missile will hit a few Marines. We could obviously try and matrix some of these tanks to allow the push-in to happen. But GuMiho will have similar abilities with his own Ravens. Matrix is a bunch of tanks in the back. Oh, he was going to go Doom Drop on top of it. He was not wasting time cleaning this up. GuMiho will eliminate Maru from the GSL in the round of 8, and he will survive the elimination match to get up into a series versus Solar for the decider match of this Group A of the round of 8. So, we're going to be heading into that, guys. That's going to be our last matchup of today. Solar and GuMiho, some TVZ. Oh, stretch it out. Get ready to go, go, go. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Oh yeah, 2 minutes on ads. We'll give it 30 seconds so we can kick off into this matchup, guys. It's gonna be my last best of 3 today. I'm gonna go take Ellie out and stuff, so can't sneak in any Group B stuff. Like I said, we started a bit later. It's kind of odd because like I would have liked to have started earlier and do both the groups, but it's kind of difficult because obviously GSL was actually still live. I'm not sure when we're going to squeeze in the replays of Group B. Like, I kind of want to do it soon after it happens. My schedule's kind of busy. Next couple of days, WardiTV June, Group D, and then the playoffs on Saturday, European League qualifier on Sunday, and I can't go live early on Sunday because it's Father's Day. Maybe like Wednesday the 18th? Just do a full GSL replay stream. I don't have anything down for that day. Maybe we just do that. We just do full GSL replays from Group B into the playoffs. Might be a call. Because EWC qualifies that weekend, and Home Story Cup's the week after that. Jesus. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, I think maybe we go somewhere like that, perhaps. Seems fairly reasonable. Alright, let's go into this best of 3 between Solar and GuMiho for the Decider series. Like I say, GuMiho is still fighting for an EWC seed here as well. Let's get in game and get this going as we have in the top right side. Our red Terran player is going to be GuMiho. He takes on the blue Zerg in the bottom left corner of the map, Solar, as they both fight for a slot in the round of 4 GSL. Like I say, more on the line for GuMiho. Solar's got his EWC ticket sorted already. If GuMiho loses here... I mean, is GuMiho even in the global qualifiers? I forgot who's in the global qualifiers. Give me a second to check. Let me have a peek. Yeah, GuMiho is in the global qualifiers. So he will still have a chance to qualify there, but there is a big difference, right? Because the... Yeah, there is a big difference because the players from the global qualifiers are... They don't make it to the main event straight away. They have to play a play-in match in Riyadh to make it into the main event, or a play-in group, so... It's kind of difficult, to be honest. It's kind of a little bit tough. As we get set up, bottom left side, Solar, top right, GuMiho. Let's get into this one and just see if GuMiho... I mean, it would just be nice to snag a direct ticket right straight into the main event of EWC. Like I say, if you win this as GuMiho, you would still have Rogue, who is in the semifinals of GSL as well. And you would have to outperform him. And if they both lost in the semis, potentially then there's like a tiebreaker match. It really depends on what else happens in the other group of GSL as well. So there's a lot on the line. There's a lot to say. So yeah, lots to think on there. Moving to the upper right as we take a few moments. Command center about to finish. Queenslings, Overlord building, barracks on the way. And we get ourselves settled in. Marine coming after the Overlord for a couple of moments. Just going to be seeing the Overlord going to get jumped on. A couple of Marines there. We're going to start dealing some damage. The lane speed coming up. A couple of SCVs on the way through as the OV will drop. So Overlord will go down. It's a supply block for Solar. Again, Command Center, Starport, Hellion continuing up. Reactor, Refinery coming through as well. As we just have ourselves 9 additional drones continue to come out for now. Just continue to build that across. Link speed getting going. Just going to be seeing the Queen and the Overlord coming through. Additional drones all on the way out as well. Winning the global qualifier grants you access into yet another qualifier. It's not really a qualifier at that point because you're in... Because you actually go to EWC, you go to the tournament. It just qualifies you into a worse part of the tournament. You have to, like, play into the bracket still. So it kind of acts as, like, a last chance bracket still. Like, yes, but, like, you still get to go to EWC. You still get to play the offline event. And obviously, there is something to be said about that, right? And you get... There's also just straight up prize money to be won there as well. Like, I think it's, like... I think... Off the top of my head, if you win the global qualifier, or you get through the global qualifier, you're guaranteed $7,500. And then your first playing match, if you don't, it's basically a GSL group. If you finish last, you get like $7,500. If you finish third, you get $12,500. And then if you win that, if you get into the actual main event, the base prize money is $17,500. So it's kind of a big deal. Like, it's definitely a worse place, but I wouldn't really call it a qualifier, you know? It's definitely part of the event. It pays out well. So, yeah. Definitely a factor to consider, I would say. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of qualifiers into qualifiers, isn't there, in this day and age. Alright, into GuMiho versus Solar. It is Macfield Accelerator on the way up. The cloaking coming in for the Banshees as well, as we'll get those on the go and get that all sorted out. That'll be our early setup here initially. Armory on the way through as well, so we just bring all of that up and running for the moment. The Hellions will continue to gather as the Zergling get shot at. So the Hellions will do some damage already. Drop Lord on the way through. Roaches on the way up. Again, the Macfield Accelerator going to give us that little bit of mech play. Solar did manage the mech of Maru earlier, so we'll see how he does against the mech of GuMiho. I do think Solar typically has had trouble with GuMiho's battle mech though, so we'll see. He's playing Ling Ravager for the moment. It's a good setup to be in it for now. I'm a little worried that he's just building units. Is he going to like set up to just attack here? It kind of feels like he might be just setting up to make a little bit of an attack or something similar happen. It may be the case. It's the Cyclone. It's going to chase those roaches back the other way. The Ling's going to take some damage too. And he's got the Drop Lord as well. I didn't see the Drop Lord coming in, so he's absolutely looking to just send this here. SCV's being chased away by the Zerglings. The Banshee pulling back. The Ravager's still chasing. A couple of Hellions getting some damage onto the Lings as well, as the Ling Roach Ravager continues to surge on forward. Order command pulling away. Refinery gets taken down. And, well, we're going to deny the third base, but is that good enough? No. You kind of want more than this. So, like, he's teching up behind this, yes. But at the very least, I mean, even just, you know, hitting some depots and slowing you down over here for a little bit. That is a factor, too. That is a major positive. Definitely a pretty big deal. There's another Queen. Drops the Creep Teamer down. The Dropper Lord there, spreading some creep down as well. Again, Siege Tank, vehicle plating, Cyclone. Banshee Hellions continue to come through. The Cyclone going for the Overseer, but it is just about going to be able to escape away. Things around the top, just going to escape out of there. +1 missiles, roach speed building. 3 Cyclones, vehicle plating, all coming online. Banshee's wanting to get that roach. We do see the Queen going to get picked off as well, so the Queen will go down. The Banshees are going to go to the other side. Don't have a good answer to those right now as we try to get Hive and Aspire online. Those Banshees are kind of dominating. As, yeah, that fourth base, no Spore Crawl or anything, so we are in a bit of trouble. Queen's trying to make their way over, but only 2 Queens going to have to be careful against the damage output of 3 Banshees. There's an attack on the other side as a few Lings run through. They're going to get hit by a couple of tanks. Can they get rid of a tank? No, it doesn't seem like it, as we try and drop into the main base as well. So Solo trying to keep his opponent busy, trying to make some work happen. It's a queen drop! Oh my god, the queens are here and they mean business. Well, we're going to lose the Overlord to the Cyclone Lock-on, which means that these queens are very much so sacrificed there. They'll get 2, 3 SCVs, 4 SCVs? Okay, the queens. They fought hard. 5 SCVs. So every day you see the queen drop. Couple of Cyclones going in again, just locking onto those Roaches. The Ravagers pushing back the other way. Hellbat's going to be there as well. The Banshee's still firing up as the Queens continue to get chased. Cyclones maintain some of their lock-ons here and there and continue to push back the other direction. Can we continue through? Looks like we're going to give it a go at least as Roach Ravager sets up. Cyclone step through. A couple of the Queens once again are going to get absolutely battered here by those Cyclone lock-ons. Solo needs to keep on defending as the extra Roaches and the Lings still making their way out. The +2 vehicle plating coming through. The Cyclones are still producing. Roaches and Lings on the way. A couple more biles and it's still going to be Cyclones and the Hellbats coming through again. That hatchery is going to go down, so that will fall. And again, we've got Corruptors, Ravagers, and the Great Aspire continuing through as well. Right now, still building. +2 vehicle plating coming up. Got ourselves the CC's building. The Banshee and the Cyclones coming online. Our CC wants to land, but there's a Ling in the way, so at least Solo is able to put a little bit of delay on GuMiho as the 4th base comes about. Cyclones move up to the top. CC morphing into the Planetary Fortress. We get a couple of CCs still building. Hatcher on the left-hand side, Hatcher on the bottom. LA upgrade building through the Great Spy coming up. We had another couple of hatches on in there. Drones still building. +2 missiles coming through, Hyperflight rotors, the +3 vehicle plating coming online. And Infernal Pre-Ignited coming up also. Those CCs are about to complete. The Banshee going to go after a few Zerglings. So a few Lings are going to get hit. They're going to get pushed the other way. 6 Broodlords currently in production. That +2 missile upgrade coming in as well. Hydrogen coming online. As the Banshee continues to chase those Roaches. Infestor and Hydra still building. We add on 2 more Spine Crawlers. Still gather up. Just going to have ourselves the +3 vehicle plane and Hyperflight Rose coming through. The extra factories coming about. Cyclones on the way. A couple of orbitals coming through as well. As we do have the Hydras and the Infestor continue to build. I mean, the Broodlords are nice. We don't have a great answer to Broodlords, but it's not impossible to deal with them with Cyclones either. And we do have Vikings also in production. I see. What's up, Fnatic? Thank you so much for the 57-month resub on the Prime. Coming up to 5 years. That's crazy. Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. These Speed Banshees are trying their luck, but there's a group of Hydras there, so that's going to be moving about. Should get rid of a couple of Banshees there. Solo's still maxed out. It's been a tough game for him. He's been bullied a lot. He's going to completely miss this army. Now, that said, maybe he can get a surround on this army now. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. He's going to try and come in from the right. Broodlords are so slow is one of the issues about playing against this. Nice, drops a nice fungal, but doesn't really stop it. It's kind of weird. I almost want Solo to come in from like the left and the right, so he could have come down from like the top position there on the right-hand side. A, that takes a little while to set up, and B, there's always that scary factor of like, what if the Cyclones do this? They just run into the smaller group of units, and they just kill them as they continue to run through, and the other units never catch up. Right? Like, it becomes a little bit of a strange, like, can you actually do that? Can you actually make that work? See the hatchery going down there on that left-hand side. A couple of Queens, Hydras, melee upgrade continue to come through. We do have the 5 cores in production, so a true answer to Broodlords coming into play for GuMiho. just don't think Solo's doing enough. You're getting bled out in this game. GuMiho has bases upon bases. You really do not have bases upon bases in comparison, plain and simple. And, yeah, I think it's looking as though we are going to have ourselves a pretty tough scenario for Solo. I mean, he's still got an army. He does not have a lot of rebuild potential. And Zerg needs to rebuild against mech units. It's just so unlikely that Solo drags himself out of this in any sort of semblance of a good position. As sad as that may be to admit, I truly think that's where this game is ending up in the near future. Hydras might get a catch on some of these Thors. Even Thor's just single-talking Hydras feels right bad right now. Medevac with an evacuation as well. Brooklyn's dropping down. A couple of Thor's taking damage once again. I was taking shots. Brutal's taking damage as well. A bit more damage being done. You can see the Cyclone still locking in. Hydras, the Ravagers, taking some shots right now. A couple of those Roaches getting hit at for the moment. So again, a bit more damage being done at the moment. Continuing to come around at the moment, as well as we continue to move on through. Cyclone going toward the Broodlord. Hard to really make much of this. The numbers are there to kind of suggest it might be a game, but I just do not believe Solo's army can take down this army of GuMiho. I'll get very excited if it does, I promise you. But I just see no sign of him really being able to deal with this army. It just looks like GuMiho has a way better force. Plain and simple. And sometimes that's all that really needs to be said. These Thors are putting in work, they continue to push through. And again, GuMiho has the mining and the bases to kind of just keep it going. Like, Solo is currently mining about the same as GuMiho, but about the same isn't good for Zerg, and there's a very good chance he loses another base here. And GuMiho has some bases coming back online. Those are some nice blinding clouds. Some good for Ducks as well. Go Vipers. They really give you a little bit of hope here, Solo. Is it enough? The supply is plummeting for him, unfortunately. I think the answer is it's not enough. This is just too efficient of a Terran army. As the Thors continue to micro back, we lose one more of them, and another one in some serious trouble. That goes down as well. The Medevac is being chased away, but surely the reinforcements from GuMiho are going to look good. He's still up a lot, and game gets called. GuMiho takes game number 1 in this best of 3 against Solo. So GuMiho gets in there with the opening game win, as we'll head into game 2 in a couple of moments. Broods are such an awkward army against that, because you're playing Broodlords against us. It's not the most mobile army ever, but it's a pretty mobile army, and the Broodlords can get kited away and all the rest of it. Makes it a little bit tough for sure. We're going to be heading into Maganatha for game 2 here, see if Solo can recuperate, or see if GuMiho is going to be heading to a GSL semi-final. Kind of wild for him. Could be kind of wild. He was in the GSL semis last season against Hero, right? If I'm not mistaken. And I got beat up a little bit in that round of 4, but GuMiho is low-key, I feel like, one of the better Korean players right now. He's just not played in everything, so we don't see him as much. But when he does play, man, he's freaking good, you know? He's been really good when he does play. Okay, let's go into 30 seconds for the ads or so, and we'll kick this off into our game 2. In fact, let's just click the watch button now. Should be good. Should be able to get this going. Kick this off. Let's have a peek at what's going to happen as we have in the top left-hand side of a game in this best of 3. Can he continue through and make the semi-finals of the GSL? It is going to be GuMiho. Up against the red Zerg in the bottom right. Our blue Zerg is Solar. Alright then, game 2 of the best of 3. Get this underway. And a couple drones coming about, hatch coming through. We are proxying barracks. GuMiho up a game and not afraid. He's not been afraid of proxy all day. Double proxy racks, both games against Maru. Now proxy 3 racks here against Solar. No gas, pure marine proxy. We're sending it. We are sending it. GuMiho's here and he's not messing around. He really isn't either. Like, this is a very committed little setup that we're going to get out of this. The Overlord coming through, as we just have a couple of Overlords here and there moving about for the moment. Hatch, gas, and pool all coming in. A couple of extra barracks being built in as well. And GuMiho is maybe going to get scouted. This Overlord is on the way. It's heading in the right direction. And he turns around. So he's not going to get a preemptive scout on this with this Overlord. It is important you turn around before you go too far, as he's going to see the SCVs now anyway, because you don't want this Overlord to be super exposed to Marines. You want it to get back and have somewhere to try and hide. We'll see if it can. I'm not sure if there is a little ledge for it, maybe on that top right side. That's quite a long way to go, though, right? So that might be a problem. Drones pulling forward very preemptively against this as Solar. He wants to try and stop this from setting up, but that's a lot of drones not mining. Spine on the way, going to put a few drones on the bunker. GuMiho's probably okay with this. Like I said, it's a lot of drones not mining right now. That's a lot of income you're missing. Solar committing to not letting this bunker get up. Firstlings are here. That's going to help. The drone's trying to go around the back and intercept reinforcements. You've got to be careful. You do not want those drones to get stuck on the map forever. I feel like right now he kind of wants to get them back in. The Ling count's getting kind of... the Marine count's getting kind of high, so the Lings might not be able to stop the bunker anymore. And this is where Spine Crawler is going to be a big factor. Spine is there. Can hit the bunker already as it's still building. That's going to be a cancel, so GuMiho will not succeed with that. And are we going to pull the boys, or is he going to try and expand out of this? Second Spine from Solar. This is exactly what you want to be doing if the SCVs do come. GuMiho has taken an SCV to the low ground, which is going to suggest the idea of, hey, I might be, expanding. They actually just built a depot down there. Oh, wow. So, yeah, he's just going to build a depot, and that's going to be the SCV pull. Now, Solar cancels the link speed. He sees what's up. Seems to know that this is happening. Oh, he starts the link speed again. Ooh. Cancels it, restarts it. No, he's starting extra spines as well, though, so he's aware of a little bit of what's going on. He cancels it once more. I think he, yeah, I think he kind of... I actually think the depot building, I think he thought it was a CC, maybe? And then he's realized it's not. A little bit of indecision from Solar, just in general, on how to approach this defense. As here come the SCVs marching into the natural. GuMiho looking for a spot in the GSL semifinals. Spines are putting the work in on the Marines, as the Marines can maybe just run past the Spine Crawlers up into the main base, and then you've got 4 Spines that ain't doing anything. SCVs are going to protect those Marines as well. Drones pulling from the other side. One Spine Crawler cancels. The others need a reposition. Oh, Solar takes the entirety of this fight basically without the Spines helping him, as GuMiho just ran on through. The Lings were off to the left, which left the right side gap up into the main base completely open. Drones just dropping down in heavy numbers. Solar only has 4 workers left. The Marines are going to go the other way, away from those spines. And there is going to be, I think, is there one spine? No, there's no spines at all left on the low ground. And this is obviously just a big deal for GuMiho, because now he's still got 6 SCVs mining versus the 1 of his opponents. And Solar knows that that means it's not going to look good for him. GG, GuMiho 2-0s himself into the semifinals of the GSL. GG's. And well played. Alright, guys, that was GSL Group A. Again, unfortunately, I don't have time to cover Group B today, but we'll do our best to bring you guys some games. Over the weekend, we're going to have plenty for you all. Tomorrow, WardiTV June Group D. Some of you guys have been asking what that Group D is going to look like. Well, let's show you guys what's going on tomorrow in Group D of the WardiTV June. We're going to have Mana, Hydra, Nikaract, and Raynor taking part in tomorrow's game. So you can watch this from 18 hours from now, our usual starting time. And then on Saturday, we are going to be taking this into the playoffs. That's going to be featuring Geralt, Solar, Björn, Freda. Oh, and the rest of Group C. Yeah, I forgot we have to do the rest of Group C still. Yes, so we're going to do the rest of Group C after Group D as well. Yes, okay, of course. I was like... yeah, that's not finished. I completely forgot about that. Yes, we're going to do the rest of Group C as well. So that's tomorrow's games. And then Saturday will be the playoffs. So that's coming up tomorrow. And then we have actually just recently announced the WardiTV European League. Is this a thing on here yet? Mondays, June. We may not have a Wikipedia page yet. Let's see. There we go. WardiTV European League 2025. We recently just announced this $3,500 tournament. Our first tournament is officially part of the WardiTV 2025 series this year. 24 players will be taking part in the tournament, and we will have our first qualifier for this on Sunday. So that's what's coming up across the weekend to keep you guys entertained. So that's all coming. That's what's going to be happening. Alrighty, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm just going to tap out because I got to go and take the doggo out and stuff. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time, aka tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday for more StarCraft 2. I'll see you guys there. Bye.